Did I understand all that? No. Did I do it? Yep.
All right, we should be live. So hopefully you're able to see me. Hopefully you're able to hear me. I'm going to have my phone over here, just to the side. But hi everyone, this is Travis with ChaoticCrafterZero in the studio again, aka the back of our living room. So hopefully you can hear me okay, but I'm going to go into comments and make sure that I can see everything that's going on as it's going on. And Maddie's here. She's working on physics and chemistry homework, so she's keeping real busy. Zero in the studio again. We are absolutely in it. Hi, Ellie. How's it going? Good to see you. Sorry about the audio feedback. Can you hear me okay? Am I talking too loud, or is it... can you hear a lot of background noise? That's what I want to check. I'm not able to hear that, so it should be okay. But let me know if it's too loud. So, what do we got today? Working on the defiler. He's over there. I'm looking at him right now, but he's going to be right here on this little pad. I use this pad because it's got grip, and I don't want to drop him. So, this has been, I think this is for like hot plates or whatever, but it just kind of like locks him into place so he doesn't fall or anything like that. So, this is just something I'm using. There is this pad underneath, but there's really no grip to it. This is mainly just to protect the table that's underneath this thing. And I am looking at getting a different table, so that's going to be something in the future. But and then my phone, I have a phone boom arm. It broke. So this thing that used to hold my phone, this part right here broke, and it has the MagSafe thing on it, so I'm pretty upset that this is broken, unfortunately, because I really like this. And I'll see if there's replacement parts I can get, but it literally, I just pulled my phone off with it, and the whole thing broke with it, so kind of disappointing, because everything else on this is, like, really tough. This is all really well machined aluminum and everything, so it's just, this is a critical part that failed, and, yeah, things happen, right? Alright, put this to the side. Ellie says I'm doing lyrics. Oh, fun. Go for it. And then tonight I'm actually drinking Liquid Death. I just got it in here. I got Dead Billionaire. I actually really like the taste of this one. The acai berry or whatever. Nice for the summer. Normally I'd have like a Coke Zero or root beer, but I've had enough Coke Zeros, and I don't have any root beer that's cold right now, so we're just going to be drinking that. And look at that, it's got my logo on it. How cool. Product placement. So, there you go. Alright, let me just crack that open. It's a little lukewarm. It's not like super cold, but whatever, I don't care. And I'm watching the Cubs dominate the Orioles right now. 9-5, top of the 8th. I knew the Cubs would win because the Orioles are having a horrible year. So they're giving us a little bit of a fight, but yeah, they're not. we're gonna beat them. So let me grab the defiler. All right, and I've worked significantly harder and had just more motivation to work on this guy. So as you can see, he's pretty much complete. There's still a lot more to do. I would say he's about 87, 88% done, maybe 89% done. But I'm really liking the effects that I did. So I did this with the glowing effect for the plasma cannon on the front. Just really happy with the way that came out. And then I do have to do the base, obviously, which is still in the box. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, it's a massive base. I want to say it is 60 millimeters. This thing's like a mini, like a dish plate, right? So a lot to work on with this. This is the one that's provided that comes in the box. I like this a lot. I will be using this, and I will be magnetizing it. So usually what I do is I put 4 magnets on here. More than likely I'm going to put them on each corner. So 1 magnet, 2 magnet, 3 magnet, 4 magnet. So, but that's way later on down the road. But I just wanted to show you, like, compared to, let's say, this little 6x6 or whatever it is, 8x8 inch, as you can see, it sits right there, and then here's the defiler. So if you were wondering how big the base is on the defiler, it is massive. Braden James, hey, what's up, bro? Thank you for stopping by, Braden. Thank you. Great. All right, so I'm going to put the defiler back on this silicone because I don't want him to fall. Put the base away, back where it belongs. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to show off where he's at. I'm not going to be working on him right now. I will be working on these. So these are his front armor pieces that go like that. Okay, and it's painted dark blue right now because I use blue first as a base before I paint it yellow. So I'll be doing hazard striping on these, and it's a very time-consuming process. It's there's not a whole lot of room for error, but I wanted to do it live. So forgive me if this is very tedious. It might be a little boring, but luckily I have you all to keep me company, and we'll be able to talk to each other through this. So don't click off unless if you want to. I'm not forcing you to be here, and this video is just my Warhammer Wednesday. It's what I do. So every Wednesday, I try to go live, and it's 8 p.m. CST right here, and then I go usually until like 10 or 11 o'clock, sometimes later, depending on what it is. If it's really a good session, I'll keep it later. But yeah, I'm really liking what I'm doing with this guy. Super fun. Love it. But I'm going to put him to the side because I don't want to knock him over, and I'm just going to be focusing on these little things right here. So if you're joining me a little late into this into the stream, or if you're watching afterward, feel free to skip to the forward, or if you want to go backwards and watch this from the beginning. That way you can see, why is he only working on these things? Why isn't he working on anything else? And I don't want this guy to be in the shot because I don't want to knock him over, and I only have so much room right here. This is really the only space that I have because I have my microphone right here, my drink right here, my cup of water for washing the paints and paintbrushes right here, paintbrushes right here, little cotton paper towel or whatever that I use just to dry off my brushes, my mat, and then all my paints are actually pushed up back here, as you can see. So I don't need all these paints tonight, but I like to keep the main ones out. So, all right, we're going to say goodbye to Mr. Krabby Patty here. Put him on the table far away where he will not get hurt, but I can stare at him and he can stare at me. So yeah, he's so fucking cool. I just love what I'm doing with this guy. I haven't seen anybody else do this. So a Black Legion mixed with Iron Warriors-esque with the hazard striping. I haven't fully seen anything like this yet. Either it's been one or the other. It looks like I'm the first one to do this. So this is a crossbreed between the two legions, if you will. So, all right. Bye-bye for now. Cool. Ellie, what's new? How's your leg doing? Or your foot, technically. How's your foot doing? You okay? Let me turn on my light here. So it's my hobby light. I got my Cubs hat on. Go Cubs. I'm watching them right now, and they're kicking butt. Bottom of the 8th. So 9-5. We are winning against the Orioles, but we have Thielbar pitching, and he's not very good. So, but maybe he'll be good enough. Who knows? All we got to do is make it to the 9th inning and we win. So we just got to keep our defense up and don't give up too many runs, and we'll be just fine. I think we'll be okay. All right. So, like I said, these are the two armor panels that I'll be working on. This is the unprimed, so if you ever wonder what's underneath all this, it's gray. It's just gray plastic, and then you have to prime over it, which I use with an airbrush. Black, so I use Vallejo black, and then I kept all the trim open, so all this black trim will be gilded up later on. I paint the base blue on these because I'll be doing the hazard striping. So I will be doing an interesting thing where I'll be I'll be creating a line right down the middle, and I'll be hazard striping on just one side. So it's going to look really cool. These are slightly different, so they look very similar. But they are a little bit different, so I'm going to have to kind of look at the defiler and decide which one's going to go on which leg, essentially. One of the legs he has up in the air, that's the one you can't really see as well, so that one, I'm probably just going to make this one it, okay? But the other one that has a little bit of battle damage on it, I really like the look of this one. I'm going to keep this one as the one that you mainly see when you're looking at the defiler. So I'm going to not do this one first because this is the main one that you'll see. I'm going to work on this one instead. So this will be like, if I mess it up, oh well, you don't really see it as well anyway, and I'm not going to really mess it up too bad, but just as an insurance thing and to give me some practice. Crap. Thielbar just gave up a run. Make that 6-9. So yeah, Thielbar's not a very good pitcher. But all right, I'm going to put this one to the side. I'm going to work on this one and this one alone. So whenever you're working on things, simplicity is very helpful, especially if you have ADHD like I fucking do. Like a lot of you probably do. You find it kind of hard to work on things and to complete them. The defiler's taken me almost 2 months to complete him. All right, that's not me working on him every night though. So you have your own work process, however you want to do it. I like to do it in sub-assemblies, especially when it's a large item, such as him, and especially he is a centerpiece item. He's one that's going to stand out on the tabletop, so I want to give him justice and do quality and detail work where it matters. So that's why it's taken me so long, and I'm not in any rush. Did he just give up another run? He did. God, Thielbar, get him out of there. Now it's 7-9. Thielbar sucks. God. All right. Anyway, yeah, he's one of our relief pitchers, and he's trash. Get him out of there, man. What do you want to do? Lose the game? Jeez Louise. We got 11 people in here. 1-1. Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is Travis. I am a miniature painter and a hobby guy and an artist as well. So artist first, hobby guy second. And I am painting miniatures. So tonight I'm working on the defiler and I'm working on his front shielding for his crab leg. So I will be getting this done. I will be teaching how to do hazard striping. So if you're interested in learning how to do hazard striping, which I'll get the defiler just to show the newcomers here what it looks like. Carefully. Here I come. Here you go. Ta-da! So hazard striping is what's right here on this gun, as you can see. This is a laser cannon, las cannon as it's called. Also hazard striping that's done right here to the left of his plasma cannon that's in the front, and then also on the shoulder pauldron that he has. I also did hazard striping there too. So I'm really happy with how it comes out, and now I'll be doing hazard striping on both of his front crab claw leg things. So just to give you an idea, if you're new to this channel, if you've never seen this before, if you're just hopping in, I'll be putting him back. But yeah, just wanted to show him off again. All right, let me put him away. Get Thielbar out of there. Why is he still pitching? He's at pitch number 11, and he's given up 2 runs. He's so bad. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So I always start with base Prime It Black, and I use Cantor Blue from Citadel Paint in order to paint this blue. Get it really nice, even coat, a good opacity, because I will be using this base right here. This is Averland Sunset. It kind of looks like a mustard color, but boy, does it look really good when you're hazard striping. So the plan is I want to do the hazard stripes. I could either do like half with hazard stripes or half on the other side hazard stripes, or both. So either way, what I like to do is I'm just going to start painting it before I worry about getting the tape that I'll be using. So there is painter's tape that you do use or can use to get that hazard striping effect. Mainly I use it just to space everything out equally, or else it doesn't look right. So I'm going to shake this up. Always shake up your paints. Always, or stir the paints. You know, those who like paint houses or whatever, you paint in your bedroom, you gotta stir your paint, you gotta shake your paint, or else it doesn't mix properly. So LED, sorry I got busy, but lyrics, yeah, go for it, Ellie, do some lyrics, let's hear it. I don't know why they still have Deal Bar pitching, so they need to get him out of here. Like, we need to win the game, not lose the game, and Deal Bar freaking sucks. So. Okay, that's a nice consistency. Get the paint pot nice and good, and I'm gonna choose my brush. Brush choice when working with yellow is very important. It's more important than you think. If I just grab any old brush and I start painting with it, let's say a round tip, you're gonna be really upset with the coverage, because this point right here, when you splay it out, there's too much pressure on the point when you go to paint it, that it actually it starts creating divots in your paint with your yellow, and you're not going to be happy with it. So you kind of want to do it either very gently. You don't want to do it too hard with yellow. Okay. I like to use something that has even pressure, and that's something like a flat brush. Okay. So with a flat brush, you can just gently strike it across, and you don't need a lot of pressure for it to start making those painting patterns that you want. Okay, it's a lot more gentle, and there's not like a single point that causes it to press in. This is going to smooth your paint out a lot better. So something like a flat, sorry, my hand was in the camera, but you want a flat brush when you're painting miniatures with yellow. Of course, there's a million ways to skin a cat, okay? I'm not saying that this is dogma, that this is what freaking master, artists do or anything like that, but I'm just saying, since I've been painting with yellow, which is very hard to do, by the way, for multiple reasons, and a lot of coats. So this is going to take a lot of coats, and you want to use a lot more water to get a thinner type consistency, because you don't want it too thick on there. It's not going to look good, okay? So, a good flathead that you also want to use is a smaller one, all right? So here's a fat, a wider one and a thinner one, okay? So I'll be using, because again, this isn't the side of a building or anything, I'm going to want to go with the smaller one, okay? So the smaller flat brush, that's my decision making. That way you can see why I'm doing what I'm doing, okay? Because this is a tutorial, and I have warm water over here. So warm, clean water, just get that brush good and damp. And I just kind of use my fingers to kind of squeeze the excess out. And then when you get the paint, again, you don't want to glob it, but kind of like this, okay? So a little, maybe not like a lot, but not as little as I would normally do, because normally I only use very, very small amounts of paint, okay? But for this one, I will be using a lot more paint. And again, this will be the crab claw going up. So if I look at it, I can either do the hazard striping on this side or the hazard striping on this side. Either way, you won't really be able to see it except for from the back. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to keep this side black, and I'm going to make this side hazard striped, okay? So I'm just going to take my brush here, and I'm just going to start painting layers, okay? You want it to be a nice opacity, meaning you don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too thick, or else it won't look right, okay? So, and I use the brush to kind of push into the edges, just gently. Again, you don't want to be too Too much pressure, you're going to ruin the pattern with your painting. So that's why I choose a flat brush. Okay, if I used a round brush, you would instantly see the difference. And if you were the one painting, you'd be very frustrated by it. You'd be like, why can't I get this opacity just right? Okay, it's because you're using the wrong brush for it. Again, that's my opinion. That's just my experience and what I've found that works for me. There's a million ways to skin a cat. This is just one of the ways to do it. And this has been working out for me beautifully. So I'm just going to kind of take the paint and I'm going to push it all the way up against the edges with this flat brush. And then I'm going to use it to sweep it. Okay, so I push it into where it needs to go. So I see the little divots. I see the little spikes right here. Okay, so those kind of like edges. I'm just going to push it in like that. And then I'm just going to start gently doing my sweeps and try to get it all to go vertically. Okay, ideally. Okay, so vertically with the sweeps. That way it's all in the same direction, the same amount of pressure. Okay, because that's how you want to get better coverage with yellow paints, okay? And you'll be doing this a couple times because yellow takes layers to do. All right, you're not going to paint it like this and be like, all right, it's done, because as you can see, it's not done, okay? All right, a little bit of water on the brush. Let me get back to the paint. Ellie is doing lyrics, which thank you very much, Ellie. I love the lyrics. Kick it, kick it, kick it. All right, so a little bit more paint than normal. And I'm going to be using this again. So take your breath, whatever you got to do to steady yourself. And I'm just keeping even pressure, okay? Even pressure. Not too much, or else you'll start seeing pattern issues, or you'll start seeing clumps on your yellow paint. And you're going to be going insane going over it like 15,000 times and be like, I don't understand this. Why isn't it working? So this is actually really good information for those that want to know. And I'm doing it for free. So I'm not asking for anyone to pay for a course or any of that stuff. This is just me showing people how to do it and the way that I do it. All right, so that looks pretty darn good, as you can see. And again, the reason why I use blue is I think it's an opposite color from yellow. It's not a complementary. What's it called, Maddie? When you have an opposite of a color, is it complementary? Okay. There's like complementary, and then there's like all these. I could get the color wheel, and color theory is not my strong suit. So, and if you see any globs like I just did, I saw a glob. I used my paintbrush to kind of push it because I didn't want that glob to dry. So, just even amounts of pressure here. And then Ellie asked, Crafty, where is Ren, Maggie, Russia, overly smart, where I feel stupid when I'm next to you? Oh my gosh. I'm here, Ellie, sorry. This takes a lot of focus, so... And I'm doing it like a tutorial, so it's a little bit different. But when I let it dry, though, I'll be reading comments a lot more. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I missed them too. I don't know. I got a couple thumbs up, so I'm sure that they'll show up later on. Or they are in here. I'm seeing 8 people in here, so thank you very much if you're new to the channel. My name's Travis. I paint miniatures, so it's just one of my things that I love to do. And if you really are enjoying this, or if you want to learn more, if you're into miniatures, we do have a Discord. I would highly, highly suggest that you check out our Discord, because there's a lot of people on there that are probably, some of them are more experienced than me. If you want to learn how to paint, and you want to learn from other people that are just like us, you know, people who've been doing this for a while, or people who are, you know, still pretty new to this, and you want to just like hang out with them, or you want to understand how to game and actually understand the gaming behind Warhammer 40K, if you want to get into it from the gaming standpoint, we have that too. Okay, so it's not just all artists, but I think everybody that I know, most of them are painters, so they're all in the hobby side of it, but some of them do game too. So if you're interested in that, check out our Discord. It is in, if you go to my channel, my main channel, go to the description of the channel, which is like, you can see it. You click on it and it goes down. There's some links in there. I do have an Instagram. I don't have anything posted on there yet. I haven't really made the time to do that, but I do have an Instagram that I started just because I do want to explore that social media avenue for reaching different people, different audience members, and growing the channel. So if you like what you're seeing, please give me a like and subscribe. Even if you don't want to watch me, please give me a like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, so that's my goal, and I'd really appreciate it if you could do that for me. You subscribe to me, and I'll subscribe to you. If you have a channel that you're looking to grow, I can even give you a shout out also. So if you want to grow your channel, maybe you do something similar, or maybe you have a different hobby, different crafts that you do, like maybe you're a Lego person. Hey, friggin', you're not the only one. Like, I do Legos too. I don't film it, but I do Legos as well. I haven't done it in a minute, but that's just another one. LED said, do you like the lyrics? Let's see. And Ellie is a cosplayer, if you didn't know. So she is very talented in that realm. That's her thing. I have a cosplay costume that I have it, but I want to do more to it. But it's good. It's basically good to go as it is. But let me go ahead and read these lyrics here. What do we got? She said, I hope this doesn't. I am glad he's dead because there was no fucking candle in his pumpkin head. You're not special for winning a game with someone who you know was never playing. She could have killed you. She had every right. You just caught her off guard tonight. But it's alright. She'll be fine. We'll listen to a lot of true crime. Oh. Who is that? That's a fun song. Who's that, Ellie? What band is that? What's the song as well? Let's see if I know who they are. Okay. So as you can see, the opacity for the yellow looks a lot better. And as you can see, I just kind of did like a rough line of where I want it to start, where I want it to stop. Okay, so that's not mathematically perfectly straight or anything like that, but it's just there as a guide for me. Okay, and then I do need to fill out these little areas right here. I'm going to use a round brush, a thicker round brush, just to push it in there, but I'm not going to be smoothing it out. Okay, so sometimes you want to switch up brushes. Again, that flat brush does a lot of work for you and it helps a lot. I will be going over this again with a flat brush. So I'll be doing 3 coats on this sucker. LED, what were the lyrics for? What was that? What band? What song? I don't know everything, Ellie. I listen to a lot of music, but I can't keep up with new music, so I don't know who is who, but if you tell me the band, maybe I'll know them. I listen to a lot of alternative music, so. Alright, so I got it pushed in there really good. Let me check everything else. So I can kind of use that round point to kind of get in there a little bit better. I wish I had a smaller flathead. That'd be really cool. I mean, I technically do. What am I talking about? I do. I have a really small one. Let me show it to you. This is a special one. I had to get this one all by itself because this is hard to find. But this is a very small, this is made with squirrel brush. Squirrel, and it's a flat. And this is a 1/8 of an inch. So pretty tiny. It's really good. And this is probably good for like getting that detail that I want. So I'll use this to get that hazard striping effect when I go to do it. That's what this is for specifically, okay? So, very cool, very cool. LED said it's not a band. Her name is Penelope Scott, and the song is Lot of True Crime. Oh, okay. Penelope Scott, why does that sound familiar? Who is that? Who is Penelope Scott? Help me out here. That sounds familiar for some reason. I think it's the last name Scott with a 1 T. That sounds so familiar to me. So we got 7 people in here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm Travis with ChaoticCrafterZero Studio, aka just me painting miniatures, in the back of our living room. We're at bottom of the ninth right now, and I think the Chicago Cubs are about to wrap it up and call us another win. That would be great, but the Orioles are definitely trying. They're giving us a good fight. So there we go. Nice, very nice. So you see how I use this, and it's just beautiful, man. When you're using your strokes, just nice and gentle, not too much. You don't want to use too much force when you're painting with yellow, okay? And you just want to kind of go in the same direction. Okay, so same direction, light. Oh, Forever Lurk 2, what's up, man? My guy. Oh, man, that's awesome to hear from you. Forever Lurk 2 is awesome. So I'm just going to kind of push it in like I did before, right up to the edges for the trim, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just keep it straight. As you can see, I'm just getting that nice yellow, which is, again, very hard to paint. Yellow is a bitch. I don't care who you are, but once you get it down, you get really good at it. So as you can see, that yellow is really starting to pop, and that's what we want to see, is a good coverage. We don't want to see anything underneath, okay? So this will be the last coat that I do. I just did this part, and now I'm going to do the rest of that part of the shielding on the leg or whatever. And then Forever Lurk 2 said, flat brushes are nice, can cover both and line with a flat brush. And hello. Hey, how's it going, friend? How you doing today, sir? How was your 4th of July? How was everybody's 4th of July? Anybody do anything super American? We just kind of watched. We had rain here, so like the fireworks were kind of going, and then they ended up canceling the fireworks for our city. So, and then I don't think they ever really did them again. I think they said that they were going to postpone them until the next day, and then they never did it. So I don't know what's up with that, but all right, just doing that. Those lines right there. So again, I just kind of push it into place, and then in a vertical brush, controlled brush strokes, gentle, not too hard with that yellow, or else you'll start creating nasty layers, and you're going to be like, what am I doing wrong? And you're going to start creating a lot. It's going to look like stucco on here if you're not careful. So flat brush, again, just push it up to the corner and then down, push it up and then down. And then if it's on the side, push it into the side and then down, okay? Just like this. This is how you paint with yellow. Again, there's a million ways to do this. This is just my method. And now I'm just going to kind of look it over, and I'm just going to make sure that I have it to a good opacity, meaning like I don't see anything underneath it. I shouldn't be seeing blue. I shouldn't be seeing black. I can see up here towards the tip. I do need to redo it. It's probably really hard for you to see, but there is a little bit of blue showing, and I don't like that. I like it to be as solid yellow as I can get it and smooth, okay? So smooth is the main thing. If you're working with yellow and you get it chunky, you're going to be so upset. So like those who paint Imperial Fists, you're probably very, very good with this color, because guess what? They're all yellow. So if you've ever tried to paint a Space Marine army and you're like, I want to do Imperial Fists because they're cool, well, you better be ready to figure out how to use yellow. There's also other techniques for painting with yellow. There are those that paint pink as a base, so they use pink underneath this instead of blue. Again, I use blue. That's just me. I learned that from a professional artist, and they said that they like blue as a complementary color instead of pink underneath it, and I've been using it ever since, and it works for me, okay? So everybody's different, but that's what I've been doing, okay? Hey, Iron Warrior 42, what's up, man? Yo, yo, yo. Ooh, Forever Lurk 2 said, I went shooting then drank some beer. That is very American. That is very American. I love that. I did drink a beer. We sat out by the pool. I did cook out. We had burgers that day, so I cooked brats in the afternoon for lunch, which were very good. And then I did burgers in the evening. So I cooked out twice. That's right, folks. Both were delicious. I should have gone shooting. That would have been cool too. So I got my own little mini arsenal over here. I could have done that. I haven't been to our range yet, believe it or not. So it's just one. There's only one range in town. It's okay, but there is a outdoor club, and I kind of want to check that out and see if I can get into that. So, because I like doing outdoor stuff. Indoor, not so much. Maybe with like pistols, I guess. But I like to shoot outdoors personally. So, alright, my hands are a little sweaty, so I'm going to take these gloves off while I read the comments, and I'm going to let that dry, so I'm not going to touch that. If you're curious, according to this right now, we're sitting at about 76 degrees. Yeah, it feels like it. And we're at 36% humidity. Oh, it just went up to 44. It's because I'm touching it, okay? So it's very sensitive because my hands are sweaty. It literally went up to 44, but as you can see, it was at 36%. That's normally, like 35% is normally where you want to paint. Anything above that, paint gets kind of nasty to work with, and anything below that, when there's like no humidity, paint is also kind of hard to work with too. So keep in mind and make sure you're checking your environment and what you're working in. So I'm going to put this back to the side. That's just the nerd in me, but that's what I do. Oh, man. And then ForeverLord2 said, do you find a white primer better for yellow? Personally, no. I do black. Oops, sorry, I just hit the microphone. Personally, I paint it black just because I like that dark color. And then once you go over it with that blue, I will try that. I will say I can prime. I have gray. I don't have white primer, like pure white primer. But I could try that and see if that works better. You'd think it would, right? So maybe to each. I know that I've tried it before and it didn't work out. Again, I was a little inexperienced working with yellow, so I probably did something wrong. But I YouTubed it, I researched it, and I found an artist, and they recommended priming black, basing blue, and then layering with yellow. So that's been working for me so far. Is it extra work? Maybe. But like for me, this has been working out really well, and you can really see the contrast there between the blue and the yellow. So super cool. I'm gonna just put this down, keep letting it dry. I don't want to touch it too much with my sweaty, nasty hands. That's why I wear gloves, everybody, if you're wondering. So that, and I don't like people to look at my nasty hands because they're, I don't know, human hands are kind of gross. So I don't know. I'm not a hand model. If my wife was up here, she'd be a hand model for me. So me, not so much. And then Iron Warrior 42 said, hey, what's up, bro? And then LED said, what the hell is that? I don't know what that means. Iron Warrior 42 said, I'm just here chilling. I finished building my Space Wolf Intercessors. Ooh, very nice. Space Wolf Intercessors. Let's go, dude. Oh, man. Iron Warrior 42, if you ever want to join, I don't know if you've joined our Discord, but you can post in there the showcasing, hobby showcasing, and I would love to take a look at your work. Or if you post it on YouTube, I'd love to watch your channel and see what you've been up to. And then ForeverLord 2 said we were shooting 1 pound tannerite charges in solo cups and watermelons. I've shot tannerite before. It's very fun. It's very fun. I don't know who invented that stuff, but man, is it fun. Yep. Oh, I love it. I've put it in, water bottles, and then tin cans are really good too. If you put it in a tin can and like seal it or whatever. Some people just shoot it straight in the cartridge or whatever. You could probably do that. You just gotta make sure it ignites and all that. But yeah, tannerite's very fun. It's very fun. I want to do it again. I kind of miss that, actually. That's awesome, man. And watermelons, of course. Yeah, you were shooting them in solo cups, so that's another way right there, right? You just set it up, shoot the little bugger, boom! It's very satisfying. Beer bottles too. Yeah, beer bottles also. You got to get like a funnel and everything and carefully do it. That's really fun, man. And then LED says, I feel silence, so I'm going to tell my roommate to take a bow. What do you mean, LED? What are you talking about, crazy? And then Spazador Inc. said, that's what's up. Yeah, what's up, man? Yep. And then Ironwar42 said, I'll join your Discord. I didn't know you had one. Oh! Oh, yeah. Yep. You can go at ChaoticCrafterZero. Either the number 0 or you spell it out, you'll find us and you can join. There are like little rules in a rule section. It's just big boy rules. I'm not crazy there. And then you can go to hobby showcasing. We got memes. We got music. So if you want to post music in the music channel, if you're like listening to something that you're doing while you're painting and you're like, hey, check out this song, like we share music there too. Because I feel like it's kind of hard to do on this channel because I can't have it in the background. So, or else I'll get like copyright or they'll take my video down. So I don't want that to happen. Sweet. I'm looking forward to it, man. And if you want to post any of your work, I can go into OBS and I'll show off what everybody's been working on. So, speaking of, actually, maybe I'll do that right now. So, that's another thing I like to do on Warhammer Wednesdays. I like to show off what people in the Discord have been working on. Let me see if this will work out. So, I'm going to go into my computer. I'm going to do a share screen. Okay, it's going to look kind of crazy at first, but then I'll switch it in Discord and hopefully you're able to see what I'm showing off. Okay, so stand by. my streaming window. Well, let me step back into frame so you should be able to see me and hear me. Let me know if you cannot. And I'm sorry if I wasn't reading comments. My phone was on the table, so I didn't have a way to respond, but I'm going to go ahead and look at comments and see what's going on. LED's got more lyrics going. She says, "'Cause we're so fucking mean, we're so elitist, we're as fucked as any church, and this bullshit West Coast dogma has a higher fucking net worth. I bit the apple 'cause I loved you, and why would you?" Interesting. What is that from? Thank you, Iron Warrior 42. Welcome to the Discord. You're gonna fit in very well. You're very well, sir. So I'm really happy that you're with us. I don't always advertise that we have a Discord, but yeah, I should do it a lot more often because we'll grow a lot more. And general chat, we could talk about whatever. Doesn't matter. So whatever you want to talk about in there. And then there's other channels in there too. You can see like army list building. If you have an army list and you want someone else to double check it, or if you're like, hey, what can I add to counter another army? We might be able to kind of put our heads together and help each other. So like my Chaos Space Marine army, I still got to rebuild my list. I have my list from 10th edition, but I got to build one for 11th edition. So I got to do all that. And our codex, I don't know when it's dropping, hopefully soon. There are rumors that it's going to be the next codex to drop, which is perfect for me, because I'll be buying that up immediately. Along with having it obviously online, you get automatically online. So, whoop. Oh, Iron Warrior 42 just said we can't hear you. You muted your mic by accident. I'm so confused. Oh shit. Oh, so all that talk I just did, you weren't able to hear anything that I was saying. Let me go back to screen share.
They could hear some of it because they responded.
Well, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I gotta remember whenever I switch between an OBS, I wish it would just keep the settings to where it doesn't mute automatically. But I was basically showing off what everybody did in the Discord, and I was talking about it and all the work that was done, so I apologize. Yeah, that was by accident, Iron Warrior 42, thank you. Ooh, War and Hammer 40k. Who are you? Have you... Yeah, I'm back. Oh, Iron Warrior 42. Love them. Did you get those from 11th edition? Is that a part of the Armageddon box? I was talking that entire time, and I didn't know you guys couldn't hear me. And my phone was over here on the table, so I wasn't able to see my comments. So I was literally talking about everything the entire time. And I was showing off whatever other people were doing in the Discord, so I apologize. I love your Space Wolves, man. I know that they haven't been painted yet, but I see what you're doing, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love the Lightning Claw. So, anything you can do to kit bash things, so long as they fall within, your codex and what's allowed and everything like that, because there are, at least from 10th, there's restrictions on what you can bring, but I think 11th, you can bring war gear, and they just cost extra points now. Something like that. So I haven't read it yet, obviously, but I do have it downloaded. So the core rules, I've just been kind of focused on painting and life and stuff like that. So all of this is dry now, so I'm really happy with that yellow. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my tape, and I'm going to be able to start making the hazard striping lines, and you'll see my method. Nothing crazy. It's just the way that I've been doing it, and it's been working for me. Again, this isn't foolproof, but it's been working. So this is dry erase marker tape. So you can use this on dry erase marker boards if you want to do, you want to make a bracket or something like that, or something like a table on it. This is what you can use. So I've been using this. It works okay. I wish it was a little bit better, because there is some bleed that gets underneath it, but it works enough to the point where the spacing is proper. For this, I will be using my hands, because if I remember, if I use my gloved hands, when I put it on here, it kind of sticks to the glove and it's a lot harder to get off. Rather, if I'm using my human fingers, I'm able to like peel it a lot easier. So let me just find the edge of the tape here. I'm going to get that tape up. Let me get some scissors. So 1 minute. I just got a little pair of scissors, very nice, very sharp. So the way I like to do this stuff is also very curly, which is kind of annoying. But take it, cut it, and I got to use it right away. So if I put this somewhere else, it's going to curl up and it's annoying. So now I got to look at this and say, okay, which way do I want the hazard stripes to go? Do I want them to go diagonally this way or diagonally up, right? I want them to go down. So I got to look at this and say, okay, so there's black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, right? This, whatever covers up, even though it looks black, is actually where the yellow is going to be. So I use this as a guide to where the black is going to be. All right, you'll see what I'm talking about when I start doing this. And with the angles, I like it to be a 45-degree angle, okay, which is kind of hard to eyeball, but I know what a 90 is, right? So a 90 is a straight. That's a horizontal line, right? Well, what is half of 90 is 45. So it's just geometry basics, right? So I'm going to use this. I'm going to press it down. I can wrap it around too. It doesn't really matter. But you mainly want it to cover that whole spot right there. So that is going to be a yellow stripe. But above it is going to be a black stripe. Okay, so now let me do it again. So I'm doing this a little bit faster than I thought, but I've been doing this a couple times and I've been practicing. So this is kind of tedious, and sorry if it's sort of boring, but I'm just showing this off because I'm just doing this as a painting tutorial, and I will be chopping this later on to use in a tutorial video that's a little bit shorter, because I want to kind of show off how I've been doing this. So. And then Iron Warrior 42 said it was from the regular 10th edition Intercessors box before the 11th edition got announced. Ah, okay, gotcha. Did you get them on a sale? I'm just curious. Was there like a sale of like buy up 10th edition before it's gone? I doubt it, but all right, next I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to place it next to the other one, again at a 45-degree angle. It's okay if it touches the other side. I'm not too worried about it. And the cool thing about this tape is you don't want it to be too strong, because if you get like really strong tape, it's going to peel away your paint, and you really don't want that. That's like a nightmare. Crap. This one kind of... It's all right. I can redo it. It's fine. All right. So again, you want it to be at a 45-degree angle, and you want it to be consistent all the way through, okay? So that's an idea of how I'm going to do that, okay? So as you can see, that would be a black stripe right there, okay? That's pretty good. That's pretty good just for doing it on camera. And I'll take my finger and I'll press it down really good, because you want to make sure that it's as tight to the actual plastic as possible. All right, so let me just continue doing that. How's everybody doing? You doing okay? Thumbs up. Who wants to talk about something else? Because I can kind of do this on autopilot a little bit. It doesn't take too much concentration. Only when I'm painting is when I like lock in. So but I can talk right now. Sorry, I got ADHD like a mofo. I think most freaking people do. I swear we all have ADHD or just undiagnosed. So, all right. And yes, I am actually diagnosed with ADHD. I'm not someone who's self-diagnosed with it. So, here we go. Right there. Wunderbar. So there we go again. That's another black stripe, and I will be going through and fixing these if they feel like they're too close together or like the spacing is off. So if you're OCD, don't freak out. I'm just doing this as a guide, okay? And then I'll be fixing it up along the way. So let me just continue on. Let me see what's going on with the chat. Oh, Iron Warrior 42 said there was a sale for them. It was like 5 Marines for $10 on eBay. Oh, what a deal. What a steal, dude. Good job. Dang. So it was just the plastic for them, huh? That's a really good deal, dude. That's incredible. Were they did they come assembled? Or I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I'm just curious, man. And LED said, to death when poison they do taste. Me. What is that? What is that from, Ellie? You gotta tell me what you're doing. Let me do chat filter and let me make sure all messages are showing. So, and then LED said, I'm gonna go to bed. All right, Ellie. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye. We always appreciate when you hang out with us. So, tonight's kind of a more tedious night, so doing hazard striping is it's a little bit different. It involves a little bit more concentration, so sorry if I'm not getting to everybody's comments, and I apologize earlier. That was a big rookie mistake on my part to forget to unmute when I change over into OBS. So that's rookie mistakes, man. Rookie mistakes, Travis. You should have known better. I'm gonna have to put a little sticky note or something on there to say, hey, make sure you're off mute, dummy. So, sorry about that. You'd think a guy who went to school for technology would be better with technology, but then again, it's me. Alright, so as you can see, the hazard striping's coming along a lot better. The way that I've been doing it, kind of spacing it out. So, again, the black is representing the yellow. So all the yellow that you see will be painted black. It's inversed. Okay, it's reversed. So let me continue on. And then Ellie said, ha 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 ha, I don't sleep. Ellie, you're funny. Hopped up on Mountain Dew and Monsters. Shit. LED, you're funny. With your Kane profile picture there. That's a very Kane thing to say, by the way. That's very Kane of you. That's funny. I don't know. Some people are just like, I'm going to bed. I mean, I don't know what to expect anymore, Ellie. You keep me on my toes. You keep all of us on our toes. We're like, what the hell? What? Alright, so let me get the spacing good on this one. Again, that good 45-degree angle. I actually kind of want that one a little bit further out. So it's a little bit wider. Just a little bit. So I'll be painting within the lines. Okay? Yeah, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? What do you think? That look pretty good? Am I doing a pretty good job? They look pretty even for the most part. And then I will be going over it again with the flat brush. So if any of them are fatter or anything like that, I'm not really super worried about it. I can go over it again. So ideally, I want it to be a one and done, right? Like I peel everything off and it looks freaking awesome. It doesn't always work that way, unfortunately. I wish it did. But yeah. LED said, can I tell you all a bit about myself? Sure, Ellie, go for it. Let's hear what you got. I know you have a pool. I know you have dogs. I know you have tarantulas. I know you do cosplay. I know you live in New York. I know you like anime. I know you have a dad and a stepdad. You don't like your real dad, but your stepdad's cool. Which, I'm glad you have him. Not everybody has a father figure. I know you like drinking Monster. I know you love Sour Patch Kids. And I know that you travel quite a bit. So you're always going to different states. You got a lot of friends, too. It seems like you have a lot of friends, too, Ellie, which is awesome. I'm glad that you have friends. You got roommates and whatever else. So, And you are, I think you're 27 years old, if I remember correctly. And you love certain bands. I know you like Ailstorm. I know you like System of a Down, of course. I love System of a Down too. So, I know you love doing lyrics, so I think I know a little bit about you, Ellie. And then she said, so like my name's Ellie, real name Eleanor, but if you call me that, I freak, yeah. Eleanor is like an old lady name. From like the 1800s, Eleanor Del Roosevelt, yes. I think of Eleanor, like an old woman in a wheelchair, so. Is that a name of your, one of your ancestors, or maybe your mom's name? Just curious. Alright, what do you think, chat? Does that look pretty good? Is it ready to be painted? I'm kind of happy with that. Let me just really quick, I'm just going to take my time and just look at it properly and make sure that it's evenly spaced out. So this one, actually, I can move it down a little bit. The problem with working with chaos bits when you're doing any of this is there's like spikes and stuff in the way, so it's kind of it's kind of annoying when you're trying to paint this because there's all this stuff that kind of gets in the way when you're trying to do hazard striping. So there's a little bit of an extra step when you're doing hazard striping on chaos. So let me just kind of move this one down, curl it back in, just because I didn't like the angle of it. So let me push this one in. Okay, just use my fingers to kind of press it down. Okay. Looks pretty good. I just want it to be even, right? Another thing you could do is you could even take your tape and just kind of eyeball it, like put it next to it just as like a measurement device to be like, is that right? Yeah, that's about right. So there's a couple things that you can do here. And then when you get to the edges, it kind of depends on whatever you want to do. But I'm pretty happy with that. That's a really good 45-degree angle. Again, you're not going to see this one as much because it's behind the claw. So it's kind of like behind him. And I'm just going to check my degrees here. Make sure I'm at 45, 45, 45. Beautiful. So I just want to press this down really good. And now I'm going to get my Abaddon Black. So that's what I like to use. Instead of Corbus, I use Abaddon Black. All right. Oh, Ellie said, my family is different. So my aunt took me when I was 12, and my mom ended up... Oh. My mom ended up... How do I say this? She didn't want to be with us anymore. And that's really sad. I'm sorry. But yeah, my dad is here. And he hates me. So your real father's not the best. I'm sorry about that. She said I'm 24. I thought you were 27. Okay. She's 24. She said my favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. What? I would never guess that, Ellie. What a random movie. That's funny. I remember when that stupid movie first came out. Oh my! Even I thought it was dumb, and I was like a little kid. I was like, "What am I watching? What the fuck?" But yeah, I like slapstick humor too. So, all right, let me get my painting gloves on. Hopefully this works out. And then Ellie said my favorite shows are TADC, which is the Amazing Digital Circus, or MHA, which I can't remember what that stands for. High school something? My high school academy? No, my something academy. That's what it stands for. Something academy. I don't watch anime now. So I only watch old school anime, sorry. Alright. Put that down. These freaking dropper bottles are kind of a pain in the butt. Alright, here we go. Get that nice and wet. Cool whip. go. And then we're just going to, again, make sure it's really on there, and I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it. We're doing it live. And it's okay if it's not super dark, super opaque. I'm not looking for that right now. All I'm looking for is just black. I just want to see black on yellow. It doesn't have to be super, super dark. I just want to see that it's there because I use this as a guide when I take the paint and I really put it on there. So some people, what they can do, and I've seen used, is some people use Wildwood, which is a shading color, kind of like a brown, and they use that to help them guide while they're painting the hazard stripes. So yeah, this looks kind of messy. I'm shaking like a leaf. I'm sorry if my baseball cap's in the way. So I just, let me turn this around. That way I don't get that in the shot. So sorry about that. I didn't think about that until right now. I'm sorry. So let me just get this. Again, and this is just a guide. So it's not going to be like one in perfect, but I'm just using this to kind of get that black on the yellow. And that way I can see what it looks like. So I'm a little shaky. I apologize. I'm a human being. I wish I was freaking perfect, but I'm not. And I do what works for me. So there we go. Nice and easy, nice and easy. There we go. Just like that. Again, it's just a guide. It's not, this isn't, my final product or any, art is messy. I'll tell you that. Anyone who does painting or anyone who does art will tell you one of the first things you'll learn about painting is it's fucking messy. Any art you're doing, it's messy. You're working with clay, you're going to get clay all over the place. If you're a baker and you do that and you want to make really nice looking whatever, you're going to get messy, okay? Unless if you're like super OCD and you run a really tight ship, art is messy. So, whatever. It's okay. I try to keep this thing relatively clean because I like a relatively clean space. That way I'm not knocking things over because I'm very clumsy. And then again, I'm just looking for black on here. Just basic, just to kind of keep me to a pattern. And I want the black to be not too chunky on here, so I don't want to like really have it thick. Okay, so just a nice light amount of chonk on here, not too much chonk. Okay, so and then I'm just going to use this to just kind of wet it, and I'm just going to go over this again and make sure I'm hitting all the little most of it. Okay. And then once I peel this off, I will be doing it a lot more detailed, okay? God, I'm shaking like a leaf. Jeez Louise. Oh, glad I'm not a surgeon, right? Sorry if I'm not looking at your comments. I'll look at your comments in just a minute. I do see the chat is going, so I apologize. I'm just making sure that I'm doing this right and I'm not missing anything, okay? So I'll put this down, let it dry, and then I'll go to comments, okay? I promise. I'm not ignoring you. Well, I am technically, but it's purposefully ignoring you. I'm not doing it because I hate you. Whew! Alright, so let me put that to the side, and that's just going to dry. Man, I'm sweating. Okay, and then back to chat. Ellie, oh my gosh, you are getting it over here in comments. I love this. Ellie said, I love hot sausage. I love fashion and perfume. What kind of fashion? Curious. My favorite color is black or dark green. Oh, that's cool. Like a military green or like a dark green, like a forest green. She said, I'm 5'10". My favorite food is sushi. Did not know that. I'm half Scottish and a bit Mexican. Oh, I'd never guessed that. My favorite snack is hot Cheetos with hot sauce. Maddie loves hot Cheetos. And she loves Sour Patch Kids. So does Maddie. Maddie loves that. I'm not a huge fan of either. The watermelon ones? Yeah, those are her favorite. That's fun. My favorite drinks are Monster and Arizona, which Maddie loves both. Arizona probably more, and I love Fanta or Mountain Dew, so I knew that. I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers, and I'm the youngest. Oh, I didn't know that. I have a couple tats. Hell yeah. I have my ears pierced, I have a nose piercing, a tongue piercing, and a belly button piercing, and I work at a boba shop. No way, Ellie! Well, there you go. Look at that. I've had boba tea. I like it, so... I'm not Asian, but I've had it before, and I'm like, that's pretty good. Yeah. Big fan, big fan. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you for sharing, Ellie. Thank you. Take a bow, please. So I learned a little bit more about you. How fun. Yeah, go for it, Ellie. Go for it. It's not many times in your life you get to tell people about who you are. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty rare. Only when you meet new friends, maybe, and like even then, like you're not gonna tell them right away. I mean, some people do, coworkers sometimes, but like hardly ever do I ever tell people who I am or like what I do. Very rare. I'm very quiet most of the time, believe it or not. I only talk when I really, really want to, or if I have to. But you know, it's very rare to tell everybody about everything about me, but. Not until I know you for a while and I start to trust you, or, you know, I'm like, yeah, I could tell you a little bit about who I am and where I'm from, and, you know, if they really are curious, I could really go into detail about it, so, but, yeah. Cool, I'm just doing a second coat on this, so, I think that should be pretty good, and then I'll be peeling this off to reveal what it looks like, so don't get too excited. It's not going to look that good, okay? You're going to think it's going to look perfect, like something off Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok. That doesn't really work here, okay? But what we can do is we take what is almost perfection and we move it closer to perfection here, okay? So it's not going to be perfect the first time. Maybe if I've been doing this for like 5 years, yeah, I could probably do it without the tape. You know what I mean? Like I can literally take it and go 1, 2, 3. Like I'm not there yet, but it's not going to look perfect. But once I go over it a couple times with the nice flat brush, with my painting techniques that I shared earlier, you're going to see how the hazard striping looks. And you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that that's how you do it. And there you go. That's my technique, okay? And this is real time. So what I'm doing is very tedious, as you can see. Imagine doing this on multiple pieces of armor, especially ones that curve or they have like claws on. Like it's very intricate. So luckily this is a big flat surface for the most part that I can do this on. All right, back to comments. LED said my favorite bands: Ailstorm, Ghost. That's right, Ghost. I forgot about Ghost. System of a Down, hell yeah, and Alice Cooper, hell yeah. Which you saw Alice Cooper, which I'm very jealous of, by the way. I would love to see Alice Cooper live. That's so fun. I know he's an old man now, so maybe he can't do what he used to do. He can't bust it out like he used to. And now he's kind of like hunched over, you know, but he's a great person. I really look up to him. It's like, I look up to him more than Ozzy Osbourne. Okay. I look up to Alice Cooper way more. Like if Ozzy died, really freaking sucked, really sad. I love Ozzy. I love his music, but like Alice Cooper, even though Alice Cooper doesn't always have like the big hits, he's not maybe as well, he's very well known, but like if he were to pass away, I would be like, oh my God, we just lost a really good person. Cause he's a good person. He really is. So he's like, I don't even know what he's like the grandfather of like rock, like not like Elvis, but like rock and roll as we know it today. He's one of the pioneers, okay? Not metal. I guess you could call him a little bit of metal. Like you could say Kiss, I guess, is rock and roll, which they are, but they're not metal, right? But Alice Cooper is kind of in the same league as Kiss. A lot of people would argue and say that's not even fucking true, but I think Kiss is on a whole nother level. They're extremely popular. Like AC/DC, extremely popular. Metallica, extremely popular. Alice Cooper, just a little bit of a step down from that, but like still very, very well known and very well respected. So he doesn't have a lot of enemies. He makes friends, and he's a businessman. So he's smart, and he did a lot of things with his money that a lot of people didn't do. So, all right. LED said I like Adam Sandler, Jack Black, of course. She said I can make Kandi. What's Kandi? You know what that is, Maddie? You ever heard of that? Candy? Oh, okay. My style is kind of scene-ish.
We'll see when we're done.
What?
Kandi?
Yeah, I don't know. It's spelled Kandi.
Candy.
Oh, okay. Candy. And then she said she signal, and then I was in the hospital for a while. Yeah. I know you got your foot really bad there, Ellie, because you stepped on a freaking needle. Yikes. Don't want to do that, man. You get hepatitis and God knows what. And you said it got infected really bad, too, so... yeah, that sucks. And then I've broken a couple bones, but... All right, I'm going to take my hands out of the gloves, kind of let them dry a little bit. I'm getting kind of wet and nasty. Let's check the humidity. We're at 35% at 75 degrees, which is still good. So we're still in good operating temperature. I don't want it to be too hot. If it's at like 80 and up, that's way too hot to be working while painting. I would recommend you don't do that. So put them somewhere cool, keep them out of the light. Oh yeah, so there we go. We're going to start peeling it back. As you can see, there's one of the yellow stripes. So you're seeing this in real time. Oh yeah, there's another one right there. Beautiful. This is actually, so far it's looking okay. Peel this one off. Again, you want to get tape that will not peel your other paint that you've put down. So there you go. You're seeing it. Let's continue. It's kind of like Christmas, you know? Like you put in all this work and you want to see what it looks like when it's finished, and it's kind of fun. This still isn't even finished, by the way. There's still more stuff you got to do to it, but you're seeing it in real time here, folks. We're doing it live. This is actually looking a lot better than I hoped for. Or, yeah, this is better than I expected. Like, honestly, I've done a lot of hazard striping before, and it does not come out this clean. So, yeah, that's really clean hazard striping. So, what do y'all think? A lot of people would stop right here. They would stop right here and say, that looks good to me. I'm going to varnish it, or they're not going to varnish it, or whatever. But yeah, there is more I'm going to be doing to this, such as weathering, edge highlighting, which I will do. A lot of the, battle effects. So there'll be battle effects on this. And then I will be doing the trim as well, which is all this black spikes. All of that will be painted in Retributor Gold. So if you're a Chaos player, you know that this is like your bread and butter is literally Abaddon Black and Retributor Gold. So, but yeah, I'm actually really proud of my work. What do you think, Maddie? Check it out. Maddie, what do you think?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a really clean job. I've peeled this off before, and the black bleeds into the yellow, and you gotta like redo it. I'm pleasantly impressed with how this came out. So there you go. That's how you do hazard striping, people. If you don't know, now you know. Okay? And I could end the video right here, but I will be doing more painting because what time is it? 9:34. I'm gonna go till 10. All right, so I got a half an hour more. And I'm going to go and do some Retributor Gold, and I'll just do some of the outside and just start working on that. And then this side, I don't know what I want to do with this yet. I said I might paint it black. I could even do hazard striping here because I've seen it before where they have it diagonal and it meets in the middle. Some people do diagonal the entire way through. I'm not doing that. I could have. It's very possible. As you can see, it's very possible. But when there's like spikes and stuff, it kind of gets in the way. So yeah, that's a half a panel right there. Really, I'm very happy. I'm actually shocked how that came out because everything else before that has had a little bit of bleed over, and this is actually pretty clean. So Cool. Again, that's why you want to just be light with your black. I'm not saying like light colors, but I'm saying your brush strokes, you don't want it to bleed. Okay, so you don't want it to be super like damp, but you just want to just real gentle strokes, not hard. You don't want to press it in because you'll start getting it into places you don't want it. Okay, so I hope you learned something today. If you've never seen that done before, that's my method. Okay. If you're wondering where I got this tape from, I think this is a 0.88 millimeter, or it's the thinnest tape I could find at Hobby Lobby by their whiteboard section. So it comes in a value pack. I'll show you what the other ones are. So it comes like this. So red, white, blue, and black. Make of that what you will. Different colors for whatever. I just use the black, and I'd probably just use the blue. Red might be helpful for, I don't know, if you're colorblind, or I don't think it really matters, but for me, I just like to use black because then I can kind of see it against the yellow, and I can go, oh yeah, so I want it like this, I want it like that, you know what I mean? So I prefer to use black, but there's other colors if you want to use them, so there you go. You can also use washi tape. I do have washi tape. This is also very thin. This is 3 millimeters. What did I say? 30 millimeters or something like that? That's wrong. Yeah, so these are almost the same width. I think the washi tape is just a little bit thinner. So, but this I think is 3 millimeters as well, but it's just a little bit thicker, at least to my eye. But you can get this as well. So if you want to have washi tape, this is another option if you want to try. I would test it before you do it, but this has been working out for me. So there you go. Put this to the side, all these to the side. And let me get my Retributor Gold going. Good old Retributor Gold. And I can start getting all the outside of this trim done here. So, super dope. Ooh, LED said, my favorite songs are Feed My Frankenstein, hell yeah, Pirate Metal, Drinking Crew, and I love Feel Better by Penelope Scott. Good to go. Thank you, Ellie. Thanks for sharing that. All that. That's good stuff. How fun. Yeah, so Ellie's been a long time viewer of the channel, and she just makes things really fun here. So I'm glad she's a part of the family, if you will. So, cool sister to have. She's crazy, and I love it. I love how crazy she is. It's hilarious. Even I'm surprised by her, and that's hard to do. That's hard to surprise me, okay? And then she said, I collect CDs and DVDs. Oh, good to know. I don't collect CDs, but I collect music virtually. So I have a lot of digital music in I have an iTunes, okay? I love my iTunes cloud. Don't hate on me because I'm old. I know everybody likes Spotify, but I'm like, what if you don't have service? Can you still have your Spotify?
Yeah, you download it onto your phone.
You have to download it on your phone. Is there a Spotify cloud? I think so, yeah. And then, can you find every song you're looking for on Spotify?
Yes.
Even live ones?
Yep.
You can find live songs on... Okay. So. Also, I got this as a keychain. I thought it was freaking cool. So, it's GW. I just got it today. I don't like the way that it hangs. It's kind of weird that it hangs that way. But I was actually going to take this and mount it on my little camera right here, just so I have something to look at, and it looks kind of cool. So, yeah, this thing is heavy duty, very heavy. It's really cool. So it's a Space Marine Primaris Sergeant's helmet. So this is a Sergeant. So if you didn't know, it's a Sergeant's helmet because of the little skull in the middle there. So put that to the side. I could paint it, but I'm not going to. I like the metal look. It's really badass. So Go ahead and shake up this paint really good, as you should. And then she also said I hate records, which is, what? You hate records? Why? Sometimes they sound the best, man, depending on what you're playing. You can get some really good sounds with some old school vinyl records, man. They're just a pain in the ass to collect and haul around, so CDs are a lot easier, right? I love my baby spiders. So she has spiders, which is dope. Forever Look 2 said, what scares you, Ellie? Forever Look 2 is trying to get in her head. And then LED said, I hate sleeping. Same. I don't like sleeping either, but I gotta do it. It's better for my health. I used to... Yeah, Maddie loves sleeping. I don't like... If I didn't have to sleep, I wouldn't.
Then why don't you ever wake up?
Well, I have
Exactly.
trouble waking up, but I'm just saying if I didn't have to sleep ever, I wouldn't.
You'd rather be a vampire, you're saying?
Or someone who just doesn't need sleep. Well, vampires still sleep.
No, they don't.
They sleep during the day.
Oh.
Yeah, they sleep in their coffins or wherever they sleep. Bed. They have beds. I don't know. I don't know of any vampires, though, so I can't really ask them. Hard to find those people, I hear. I need my wet palette, so just a moment, chat. Wet palette, where are you? Wet palette, well, oh, there you are. Got it. Everyone calm down. We're good. Here it is. So, Sheboygan. Nothing crazy, just a little wet palette. It helps when you're painting a lot, especially like one color. So I'm just going to do that, cap it, easy day, boom. And then I can use my flat brush if I really want to, but I'm honestly just going to use a round. So here's a nice round, short, stubby, decent tip. It's nothing crazy. Get it wet, get it damp, per always. I've used this a lot. You can tell from all the paint on it. And this thing's like worn down. The protective film on this is like done. So make sure there's not enough water in the fennel. Just get a little bit on there. And then I'm just going to go to work, man. That's what we do. That's what we do, baby. Here we go. I love painting trim. A lot of people hate painting trim on... that's why a lot of people are scared of painting chaos. I love it. So I'm a weirdo. Many people are like, why the hell would you ever love painting trim? I'm a sucker for it. I freaking love trim. So I didn't choose the Chaos Army because of that. I chose them because they're freaking cool. And I read the lore a lot. And I decided that I didn't want to be a good guy because everybody plays the good guys. I want to be the bad guys because like nobody plays the bad guys. And of course, you can argue there's no good guys in 40k, but I know for a fact that a Chaos Warrior is probably worse than a Space Marine in the Ultramarines. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah. My guy will probably commit way more war crimes than that Ultramarine ever will. So, because they're goody-goody two-shoe boys with their little Codex Astartes, and they don't want to... They're there to help the people, and... Chaos is more like enslave the people, and we're gonna force them to be our fucking, you know, they're gonna dig trenches for us until they die, and I don't know, but I just like the bad guys. I think they look cooler, and it's hard to have a setting where everybody's the good guy, you know. It's like, oh, we will fight the alien, and I'm like, yeah, what about demons, and like that whole side of things is just really interesting to me, so... I love the bad guys, so I chose them on purpose. And I like spikes, I like dark shit, I like skulls, I like chains. I fucking love that. So yeah. Of course, I could have been a Black Templars player too, but they're the good guys also. Question mark? Good guys? And I'll read comments here in a minute. Let me just finish my painting here. So I usually do 2 coats. So some say 2 thin coats. I just do 2 coats. I don't. The fuck's a thin coat? You know, like, oh, 2 thin coats. I'm like, what the hell's a thin coat? Like watered down? Like, what are you talking about? If you didn't know this, Citadel is actually, if you shake it up properly, it's considered to be the perfect consistency right out of the bottle. It's supposed to be, right? Not always in every specific. Depends on what you're painting. If you're trying to do like water blending, that's going to be different, right? But yeah, people say like, oh, you need 2 thin coats. I'm like, what the hell does 2 thin coats even mean, dude? Like, just paint the fucking thing, and if you don't like it, paint it again. Yeah. But they try to simplify it, so there's a whole YouTube channel literally called 2 Thin Coats, and they even have their own paints too. So I'm not referring to those folks. I'm just referring to people who say like you just need 2 thin coats to paint, and I'm like, that doesn't apply in everything, but okay, it's a good general rule of thumb, if you will. But for me, I like a little bit more meat on my potatoes when I'm painting, so. I want to be able to see it from, there's something called the 3-foot test, where if you stand back 3 feet from whatever you painted, you should be able to see most of the detail and go, damn, that looks good. And then if it's a larger thing, you do like a 6-foot test, right? Or the 10-foot test. You walk far away, you look at your stuff, and you should be proud of it. But once you get up close, you know, that's when detail comes into it. And like most people in the tabletop, I've never been complimented for my painting, ever. So I bring my guys out. I'm very proud of my painting. No one's ever been like, damn, dude, look at your army. So I do it for myself. I don't do it for other people. Okay, I don't need them to acknowledge it. I know it's fucking good painted, and I have pride in my stuff. So that's just me. I'll look at comments here just a moment. Let me just finish this. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just really in this right now. I just want to make sure I get my 2 coats really good on here with that trim. Boom. Beautiful. And there's more I'm going to do to this, but let me just finish this spike right here. I just didn't like how it was looking. There we go. I'm a little bit more full. You could just kind of use your brush to push the paint around. Sweet. All right, I'm going to hold this while I check comments. Another thing you should do is also check your gloves. Make sure you're not smearing paint by accident. I've done that before, and I'm like, son of a bitch. You get it where you don't want it. So, holding it, letting it dry in my hand. All right. LED said, regarding her fear, she said, being left alone, or I don't like talking about it, but I had a bad relationship. Okay, so that's totally normal. You're not afraid of anything crazy. You're not like the dark or, interesting. And then LED said, anything else you want to know? Forever Lurk 2 said, I have problems with open ocean and I don't like large groups of people. You and me both, dude. Literally, Forever Lurk 2, yeah. I don't like open ocean either. I don't really like being in the ocean unless if I'm like really close to the shore and I can see the bottom. But I have done swimming in open water before multiple times where you cannot see past your feet, and it is a very crazy feeling. Or I've been in the water with large fish, very large fish, on purpose, and it's very cool, but it's also absolutely terrifying at the same time. So I have faced my fears, and I've done that. I'm also very afraid of heights, but I'm able to overcome that fear most of the time. I think I overcome my fear of heights like 9 times out of 10. But there is the other percent, that 1 out of 10 where it's very hard for me to break out of it because I'm so fixated on it that I can't even move and I get paralyzed. Or I start to shake a lot and I freak out and I get really dizzy and I feel like I want to throw up. And I can't look. Like, I can't look around. I don't like, everything gets louder to me. I get anxiety, all that. And then I don't really like large groups too, as well, for Everlord 2. So I do have problems with that, and that's like my PTSD, right? Or loud noises, like babies crying, a lot of conversation going on all over the place. Like, I can, like, even going to bars, I don't really like going to bars, which sucks, because unless if there's like music playing, then I can kind of focus on that. But if there's a lot going on around me, I'm like rubbing elbows with people. I don't like that. I really don't like that. So especially people I don't know who they are, some unsavory folks, yeah, I'm not going to have a good time, and I'm probably going to want to leave. So, those are some of my fears, if you will. And then getting old, which sounds weird, but I have a fear of getting old. I don't want to think about what it'll be like when I'm really old and I can't move around, or I lose my teeth or my hair. It freaks me out. So that's another fear that I have, right? And then LED said, I got a question for you. Oh, that's interesting. Forever 2 said, my nightmare would be being stuck on a cruise liner. Yeah, like one of the ones that just gets stuck in the ocean. You can't go anywhere. That would suck. And then Forever 2 said, ask away. LED said, favorite movie. And he said, Shawshank Redemption or Clockwork Orange. Ooh. Those are both very good movies. I love Shawshank Redemption over Clockwork Orange, but I can appreciate Clockwork Orange as a cult classic. I love that. I love that movie too. It's influenced so much. It's a British movie too, which is interesting. So I think I've watched that movie like 5 times. Maybe more, but yeah, it's a cool movie. Very artistic. Interesting, right? And then she said favorite color. He said dark blue. She said eye color. He said Fremen style blue eyes. Whoa. That's wicked, dude. You got Fremen style blue eyes? Whoa. And then she said songs. And he said Scar Tissue, Californication. So those are by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Big fan of them too. And he said anything by Creedence Clearwater. Big fan of them also. So I have a very wide breadth of music that I listen to. And then LED said I was going to ask a question, but never mind. That's so funny. She said hair color. He said I was very dirty brown, but now white or blonde. Do you like AI? Like AI, goddammit. And then LED said, do you like AI or hate AI? And he said, oh, I am like humans, slightly afraid of what I don't know, but still curious. Feelings about hot sausage. This is hot sauce, sorry. He said, I don't know too much about AI, so kind of afraid, kind of curious. And then he said, I don't know too much about AI, or it's possibly looming evils, but I read sci-fi, so I'm a sci-fi guy too. I don't know, man. I don't like sci-fi taking over jobs. Or, God, sci-fi. AI. I don't like AI taking over jobs. Or replacing humans. Or, companies being so quick to adopt it. They need to be really careful with that. So, and then I'm curious to see how hackers are going to use AI. So, because once they already have access to it, right? But like, what are they going to use it for? Can they use it to, create a deep fake on their face? That way they can access your stuff on your phone. If they steal your phone, can they create a deep fake within the software to make it look like you're like their face? I'm just thinking out loud here, but like, I think AI is also interesting how it went into the creative sphere. I thought AI could never replace artists. But unfortunately, we're starting to see more and more AI being adopted by like commercial companies, by marketing and advertising, because it's cheap, right? It's a lot easier to use an AI commercial rather than hire actors. And then, you have to freaking make sure that they do their lines right, and that everything's perfect with the scene, that no birds fly in the middle of it or cars are honking in the background. So like if you do AI, you can literally control all of that. And that's really creepy to me. Another thing that creeps me out about AI is the political stuff. You know, how hard would it be for there to be people that create videos of presidents saying or doing things that they never did? Or they're reporting on a story that isn't true and people believe that it's true. That freaks me out a lot, you know? Or they're talking about investing in a company that, you know, is basically going to rug pull everybody. And it's like, oh, this is such a successful company. Look at all, here's the CEO, here's their figures, and all of it's fake. None of it's real. And somehow they IPO, you know, I don't know, like an online company or something, and then they just rug pull everybody and take all the money and run. That'd be one hell of an elaborate scam, but like, it's not impossible. I mean, there's a lot of companies who've done it even in real. Exxon, no, it wasn't Exxon. Enron. Enron went public, but they were a scam company. They were scamming their users, and they were an energy company for California. Like, think about that. And they were scamming people as an entire, that's like ComEd scamming all of Illinois. They got literally raided by the FBI, and like, it turned out it was all, they were just adjusting their rate to whatever prices they wanted gas to be. Like, Enron was crazy that even happened. And they made a lot of money, and a lot of them just disappeared, and we don't know where they went. So, think about that. And a lot of employees worked for them, and they were like energy guys that like worked there all these years. And then they're, you know, all their pensions gone. All the retirement money they put into Enron just gone because they took all of it. They rug swept the whole thing. They took as much money as they could and disappeared. Like, think about how crazy that is, you know? These Russian oligarchs who love to meddle in U.S. affairs because they want to make money. So what's to stop them from getting involved? So, anyway, that's what freaks me out. And then LED said, hey, Lurk, you're like really cool. And do you have any dating advice? I'm going on a date Friday, and yeah, I need advice. Oh my gosh. Neo's here. What's up, Neo? Sorry I'm a little late. Fervlurk2 said all females can meet men if they want. If you want advice on how to keep one, it would be feminine and give your man peace. Yeah, be feminine and give your man peace. You know, don't start shit unnecessarily. But I don't know, that's just easy stuff, right? Like, easier said than done, but yeah. Forgive. But there are some times that you should never forget, you know? So you're going to get into situations where, yeah, you're going to have fights. Me and Maddie have fought multiple times, okay? Yeah, she said we've never fought. Yeah, we've definitely fought. So our relationship is not perfect. I freaking love her, and she is my perfect little princess, of course. But like, does she do stuff that pisses me off? Yeah, sometimes.
No.
But do I do stuff that piss her off?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am not perfect. I am infallible almost all the time. So like, her being wrong is very low. It's usually me. So accountability and just being like, I messed up, I'm sorry. And, you know, you're not pushing the argument just because you're trying to like win. You know, that's not a good thing to do. Like, if you're going to argue, the idea is you want to come to a solution where both of you can agree on terms, right? And ideally, once those terms are met, you aren't, you know, punching him in the side every 3 seconds saying, hey, remember when you did that thing? Hey, remember when you did, because it's just, you're hitting him while he's down. He already knows he fucked up. Guys are different. Girls are different, right? We're all thinking differently. So just remember that too, Ellie. Women and men do not think alike. They don't. They don't. I don't know. I don't care how many guys you've been around. I don't care. Women think differently, okay? So I can tell you this very certainly, that I think I know what's going on in a woman's head, and I'm very wrong. So, but I know my wife very well. I know Maddie very well, where I can be like, yeah, she's probably thinking about this, or she's probably going to call me soon because that, or, you know, she'll ask me which one would I wear, and usually I get it right, but sometimes I get it wrong. Like, I don't know everything about Maddie that I think I know. And we change as people all the time. So, like, don't be afraid of change if it's a good thing. But if it's a bad change, that's something you got to look out for. So, like, if someone takes up smoking, for example, cough, cough, just be aware of how that's affecting your mate, how that's affecting your partner. Yeah, there you go. So, all right, so I got the trim going really good on here. You're seeing this in real time. I really love the hazard striping effect. So, awesome. It's 10:01, so it's almost time to end this. But I'm going to go a little bit longer just because I want to keep up with the conversations going on. And then Neo said, what's going on, Ellie? She said, I need dating advice, Neo. And then Forever Alert 2 said, did that go through? Ellie said, no. Oh. He said, oh. That's so funny, dude. You're like, does that make sense? And she's like, no. Just in one ear, out the other. That's so funny, dude. You should listen to Forever Lurk. All females can meet men if they want. If you want advice on how to keep one, you need to be feminine and give your man peace. So he just said that, already said that. And then this chat is eating comments. That's so funny. Oh, and then Neo said, my advice, I mean, I'm not that old, but don't really expect much when you but have fun, you know. Okay, so have fun, yeah. I know one advice I got from a master sergeant was keep things fun and keep things sexy. So, go on dates still, you know, don't get too comfortable in the monotony that you don't want to switch it up and, like, go out, like me and Maddie still go out. Maybe not like super formal dating, but like, hey, let's go play pickleball together. Hey, let's go to the park. Hey, let's ride our bikes. Like, do things like that. That's like a break from the normal. And maybe look for fun things to do. So like, I want to like maybe a cute town I want to go look at. We can go to and have a drink at. Stuff like that, you know, or go to the Twin Cities, like the big city that we have. We can go to the TJ Maxx there and be like, hey, what do they got at this big TJ Maxx? Because she loves home goods and stuff. So that's kind of a date. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's shopping, but like make it special at the same time because it's like something you're doing together. So even little stuff, you don't have to go on extravagant dates, but like we also have I bought us tickets to go to a country show. So Josh Turner's coming here, and we're going to go see him live. So, I want a muffin too. Cornbread muffin. I'll have that after this, though, once I'm done. I'm not going to eat it on camera, so that's rude.
You're going to eat it on camera?
And then LED said, I'm scared because my last BF said... He also called me fat. I'm not even fat. Oh, that's fucked up. Fuck him, Ellie.
Yeah, fuck him, Ellie.
Fucking asshole. Guys do that to control you, by the way. Queen. Ellie's like, what?
She's a queen.
Queen Ellie, that's so funny. That was a 5-year relationship you were in? Holy shit, Ellie, I didn't know that. And then she said he was verbally abusing me, and I can't go through that again. Yeah. Also, another thing, Ellie, not every guy's the same.
Ellie, I'll go fight him.
Not all guys are the same. There are good guys out there. Depends on what you're looking for. It's hard to find good guys, but they do exist.
They're just short.
Hey! I mean, honestly, short guys are good because we have more to prove. So...
Should I warm this
women don't really talk to us a whole lot. That? No, just eat it cold. You can warm it up if you want. Like 10 seconds, but it's good cold. She's eating cornbread muffin. Really good. From Famous Dave's. I went yesterday and got us some. I picked up an order and it was delicious, so I love that shit. That's sad, Ellie. I'm sorry. And then Forever Alert 2 said, I don't know how people who do things like that are going to survive their later life. Let me tell you something. As you get older, you remember all the shitty things you did. It doesn't go away. That's true, too. I have regrets in every relationship I've ever had, including the one I'm in right now. Okay? So, again, I'm not perfect, but at least I admit it. I'm not blind to it. I'm not like, I didn't do anything wrong. No, that was your fault. You didn't do it, so I did this. Like, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. So, yeah. But, anyway, back to the chat. Forever Alert 2 said you carry it like bricks and it will weigh you down. Those people will pay later on. True. So the people who are shitty to you, if you have bad relationships, which I've also been in bad relationships, very few, mostly good relationships, right? Yeah. So just learn something from every relationship. You don't have to fucking stay committed to one relationship forever. If you don't like the person, unless if you marry them, that is very different. Yes, and you got to make it work. You got to make it work. There is no try that you have to make it work. So you said yes, and that means yes forever, forever, ever, and ever, and ever. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna paint. I've decided I'm just going to paint this shit black. I'm just going to do it half black, half hazard stripe. I think it'll look really cool. So I can do that. I'm taking artistic liberty. I'm going to do it. So again, it's like my Defiler is half Iron Warrior, half Black Legion because I really, really like the Iron Warriors. And I really, really want a fucking Iron Warrior army. But I don't want to have to, like, rebuy very large things to be like, this one's Iron Warrior and this one's Black Legion. Like, I just want one, or like a tank, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make my tank, and it's going to be kind of a little bit of both, so it can work in both armies, you know? But if I have, like, a Khorne army, it's really hard to be like, this is Khorne and Iron Warriors. Like, that's really hard to do. And you could do that. I'm not saying it's impossible. It might look really cool, but, like, how do you explain that with the lore? Not like anyone's going to ask you, but, like, I like to have fun with it and have some headcanon with my guys. So, in my mind, I'm like, Black Legion and Iron Warriors are going to work together. They're going to come, it's down there, honey. So, in my mind, I want Iron Warriors and Black Legion to work together, even though I know for a fact that they can't, and they won't. But in my mind, I want Chaos to unite, even though it's Chaos undivided and like, blah, blah, blah. But in my mind, that's what I want. So that's my headcanon. I'm sticking to it. Sue me if you want, but hey, it's my army. It's my choice. I can do whatever I want. I do what I want. Whatever. I do what I want. So, yeah. All right. Painting the other side, Abaddon Black. Let me get that going. Huh. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Easy day. Painting with black. I've only done it 1,000 times. Rolling Stones song, Painted Black, right? Paint it black. And then, of course, I would also love to have like a Night Lord's army too, but that's way down in the future. I'd probably do Iron Warriors first. I just freaking love them. They're so cool. I love the Night Lords too, but unfortunately the Night Lords are like kind of weak, so they're not much of a legion. They're not a legion anymore in lore, so they're very splintered, and they're really basically just mercenaries at this point. And they're kind of doing it they do their own thing, and they kind of, I'm almost done with the Night Lords Omnibus, by the way, so I might do a video on a review for that. I don't know, man. I have all these video ideas, and I hardly ever follow up on all of them, but it's good to have a laundry list of things that you want to do if you have the itch and you're like, you know what, I think I'm just going to make it video. I'm just going to do it. So some days I feel really motivated. It's very rare. I'm very unmotivated a lot. I have depression really bad, unfortunately. So, and then ADHD doesn't freaking help. So like I'm depressed, but I don't, I have like no energy, and then I'm on a good amount of medication too. So I'm not going to say everything about myself, but I have trouble staying motivated or waking up and being like, I'm going to do all this stuff today. It's really hard for me to do that. Even though I was in the Marine Corps, I kind of got burned out from being in the Marines for so long that, I just got burned out, man, in life. Like, not even just from the military literally burned me the F out. School burned me out. Working didn't burn me out. I didn't mind working, actually. I enjoyed working in IT, but unfortunately, my brain just can't. It just can't fucking compute. My memory is shit. My social skills are hit or miss, and I'm very inconsistent on the job, unfortunately. And I have bouts of extreme paranoia. So that also doesn't help when you're trying to work and you're thinking that I can't go to work because something bad's going to happen. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll get back to comments here. Let me just finish this this painting thing right here. Just painting it black, Abaddon black. Probably just 2 coats. Just 2 good coats will do it. Nothing too crazy. Let's see here. I just want to make sure it's relatively smooth, though, because armor paneling is kind of hard to do. You want it to be smooth, so, or else it's not going to look right. And you could add grease and grime later on, yada, 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 all that good stuff. But for now, I just want a smooth coat of Abaddon black on here. So... there we go. Fuck yeah, dude. There we go. And I'm aware that it's not like perfectly down the middle. Okay, I'm aware of that. This is, again, just basic coat of paint. It's all I'm doing. Nothing crazy. All of it will be touched up. All of it's going to be, I'm going to make it borderline as perfect as I can. So I'm already aware that this is not split down the middle perfectly. So I know that there's a point to a point, and I will be doing that in a little bit. Let me let that dry. I'm going to let my hands dry because these sweaty things are disgusting. And let me check chat here. I'm going to skip over some of Neo's comments. LED said he dated me when I was 17. He was 23 and I didn't know any better. Oh my god, that's really bad. Fuck. Yikes. Yeah, that's bad, Ellie. I'm sorry. So he kind of took advantage of you, essentially, as a younger woman. So, not cool. Not cool. And that happens a lot. A lot. So... I knew people in high school that would get picked up by their boyfriends, and their boyfriend was older, and they're like, I'm just like, that guy's a loser, dude. Like, why is he dating a fucking 16-year-old girl, you weirdo? And I knew him because he would be like a grade or 2 above. He dropped out, but like, I'd be like, oh, it's that guy. I'm like, didn't he have a kid with someone else? What happened to that girl? So it's like, warning, look out for this guy. And of course, the women probably won't, they don't care. They're like, no, he loves me. We're going to do something different. And then, On the comments here, Neo said, Travis do be right. Fighting is normal in relationships, but you gotta live, learn, and move on. Unless you know it's some heinous shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There is some stuff that is very hard to move on from. Things that are very serious, things that are very taboo. You know, you're forcing your significant other to do something that they don't want to do, or you're controlling them. That's happening all over America, man. There's a lot of very controlling people that are in relationships, and usually it's the women being controlled by the men, but it can go both ways. So, yeah, that's also a really shit situation to be in, especially if you're married. Yikes. And then Ellie said he also slapped me, and he held my hand against the hot plate of the stove because I told him I didn't know how to cook, and he said I should kill myself. I can't believe I just said that. He said I should end myself because I wasn't doing my duties as a woman. Yikes. That's not the way to do it, dude. That's not... You have to be like, here, let me show you how to do it. Do you know how to do this? Like, or being kinder about it. Like, you don't just... That's what I'm talking... That's abusive, and that's assault. Also, that's evil. I would never do that to Maddie. Ever. Fucking ever. Tell you need to learn how to cook and put your hand on a hot plate to burn you as punishment. Yeah, Maddie would take that thing and shove it up my ass, okay? Or she'd tell her mom, and her mom would hire someone to come take me out, if you know what I mean. So I would never do that. I would never do that to her regardless. I would never hurt her. Nope.
I don't even cook, and you don't even tell me to cook.
Yeah, Maddie doesn't even cook, and I don't even tell Maddie to cook. I don't even tell her to do the dishes. I just ask her when she's done with her dishes, just put them in there. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. She doesn't have to worry about laundry. All I ask is put the clothes in the dirty hamper. When they're dirty, don't throw them on the ground. Don't put them in a pile.
I don't. I put my clothes in the pile.
And then another thing I would really like is if you help me like hang stuff or fold stuff like that. But that's not a big deal either. Like that's small. That's nothing to me. That's nothing to really get upset about. You know what I mean? So you got to pick your battles. That's another thing I can say is pick your battles. You don't have to fight over everything. But I will say, if you find yourself fighting with your significant other a lot over petty stuff, there's a bigger issue at hand. And if you're always like nitpicking them, or if you find them nitpicking you about everything, like why you chew with your mouth like that? Why I hate it when you do this. I hate it when you do that. Why are you leaving your stuff here? Like there's an underlying issue that's happening and that needs to be addressed. Okay? And tit for tat stuff is not a good idea, but it's okay to check someone if you're like, hey, actually, you do that too. If you know what I mean. Okay? Like tit for tat is kind of like if Maddie were to call me out for throwing my clothes on the ground, and I were to like look at her and be like, you do the same thing. Like, that's kind of a silly thing. And if she's like, well, I just don't like it when you do it. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't like it when you do it. She's like, well, then let's stop doing that. And I'm like, okay. You know? And the maturity is another thing too. And maturity is hard. It does not come with age. There are many people who are older and they're not mature. Okay? I've met many people who are like, I'm 60 years old, and they are fucking wild. No responsibilities. They don't think about other people. Okay? Like, there's a lot of people, age does not mean maturity. Okay? You could also meet someone who's relatively young, and they might have their shit together too. So, it is a possibility. If you're a little immature, it sucks, but it could be a possibility. You need to take a little hard look in the mirror and be like, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to be the adult a little bit more. Maybe I need to grow into my age. And I need to be more responsible. Maybe I need to pick up a little bit more slack. You know, maybe I could improve myself. And then apologize if you're wrong. That's something I have trouble with, is apologizing. because to me, I get over stuff so quickly, I don't always require an apology. But I forget that Maddie likes apologies, especially if they're sincere. So sometimes I move on and she's still mad at me and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, well, you never apologized. And I'm like, for what? And then she's like, what do you mean for what? And then it's an hour conversation and I should have, thought about it and been like, oh, that's not very nice. Maybe I shouldn't be that way. Hey, I'm sorry, hun. I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know what I was thinking. I was really angry, whatever the reason, okay? I do that too. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect except for God. But, try to be better every day, guys. And if you're with the wrong person, there's a lot of warning signs. If you really want to know, I could tell you what I think some warning signs are. But when you first meet someone, be aware that they're trying to court you. They are trying to put on their best face. They're trying to put on their best smile. They're trying to be as kind, as generous, and considerate as they can be. You want to watch out for when they start slipping. When they stop doing that and they go back to normal. They're normal. When they start swearing more, when they're drinking more, things like that, that's a red flag. When they're spending a lot of money, when they're asking you for money a lot, that's a red flag. When people show up and they're like, I got a great job and I am perfect and I'm an astronaut and I have my PhD in freaking astrophysics and all this, and they're all sharp dressed, you better look out for those people because they're probably trying to swoon you to take advantage of you. There's a lot of guys that can talk big talk, but they don't walk the walk. So Iron Warrior 42 and Forever Lurk can definitely say that they've met people like that before. So, and then Neo said most men are pragmatic as hell. Agreed. And then Neo said, well, luckily, Ellie, you're not in that relationship anymore. And I would recommend that you get some help to move on from that because you never will. You need to process what he did to you. And if you're holding on to trauma, you need a way to process that out or else it'll carry with you for the rest of your life. And it's really gonna mess with your head the older you get. I'm strongly recommending just talking to like a counselor or someone professional, ideally a therapist, and just be like, I had a really bad relationship. He did this to me. How do I move on from this? And he'll be like, well, let's process what he did to you. Let's walk through those bad scenarios. And I'm just telling you, I'm 35. I am in therapy weekly, not monthly, weekly, hour sessions. Sometimes I wish I did it more. But yeah. Anyway. And then he said, another thing of advice, that spark that people talk about is entirely bullshit. Literally what I just talked about. That's hilarious. He said, be comfortable with days that are less active and whatnot. 100% agree, dude. When you first get into a relationship, that spark, all that is attraction. And I'm not saying it will fade away, but it's going to change. It's going to change with every relationship, and you're going to have boring days where you're not doing anything, or maybe there's a lot of days where you're not doing anything, and it's okay to be like, hey, can we do something? You know what I mean? Like, you can also step in and say, if he's not planning anything, and you're like, we don't do anything, be like, hey, I want to go to this show, and if he's like, I don't want to go, fuck him, go with your friends. Go with your freaking friends. Still live life. Don't let your partner stop you from living your life, okay? I'm not saying that means he's a bad partner, but maybe you need to work on him a little bit, or her, to get her a little bit closer to what you want, ideally, right? Or if he's like, hey, I want to go out, and you're like, I don't really know if I want to go out. Hopefully, eventually, you guys are able to meet somewhere in the middle. All right, I'm talking a lot, bro. Ellie, and then Neo said, Ellie, I know it's scary, but if you're this scared, maybe it's still best to come. It's still best to come at the date to have fun rather than a relationship. That's a good idea too. Yeah, that's a good idea too, Neo, is instead of like going into a dating thing to be like, this is my next partner or my next boyfriend. Women, I think that a lot. Men sort of think that, but we're more like, this is fun. We're not looking for like a forever partner, but they should tick certain, they should have, you should have criteria where if they don't meet certain things, you should just be a little bit more wary of it. Or if you're not vibing with him, you could give him another chance. Or you could just say, hey, sorry, I think you could be a great person, but you're not great for me. You know, or however you want to say it. There's a million ways to do it, but don't be afraid to say no in the right way. Or however you want to do it, right? It's a free country. But I think it's better to be constructive about it rather than just saying, hey, you suck, never mind. Or like, yeah, that didn't work out. Maybe you could just help them and be like, yeah, I don't really like the way that you treated that waitress. You were kind of mean to her, and that's kind of a turn off. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Or like, oh, I had to come pick you up because you don't have a car. Yeah, that's kind of weird. You know, I'm used to the men picking me up, or I'm just throwing things out there. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, or if you dress up and he doesn't dress up, he doesn't take the date seriously. I'm not saying you're going to a 5-star establishment, but I'm just saying like you go on a first date, like he better wear a fucking collared shirt. You know what I mean? Like he better wear something nice. Or like a nice plain t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? With jeans and like nice shoes, his hair done, his teeth clean. He shouldn't be showing up looking like a bum, okay? And if he's like, well, this is how I am, you gotta take me or leave me, baby, then it's your choice on if you want that or not, you know? Some guys are like that, and they can still have they still get girls, they still get guys, whatever. There are people who show up and their personality speaks more than their looks. And that's another thing to look at is maybe it's not the way that they look. Maybe it's like inside that counts. You know what I mean? Like you should be attracted to both, but look inside deeper. Who they surround themselves with, what do they do? You know, if they're like, I don't do anything, I just stay at home all day, then, I mean, hopefully you're like that too. But if they're like, I like to go out and travel and you better be willing to do that too. So eventually. I'm going to shut up. Keep reading comments here. And then Neo said, yeah, most dudes are dicks. Yes, they are. Yeah. They unfortunately, it's really hard to find a good guy. And then Neo said, yes, Travis, I'm a short king as well. That's funny, dude. And then I'm short, a Warhammer nerd male genuinely might be GGs. Might be good guys. Yeah. Maddie, I love you, queen. You low-key awesome is what Ellie said. But that's enough about my past relationships. Probably bored you half to death. No, you didn't, Ellie. This is important stuff. Forever 2 said, sometimes the best therapy comes from strangers because there are no expectations. Fair. LED said, LOL, what y'all want to talk about? And she said, y'all are amazing. So you're welcome, Ellie. And then Neo said, Ellie, I've gone through relationships, some horrendous relationships myself. I'm here to talk. He said, I have this video idea where I visit Travis and we play Warhammer. Dude, that would be dope. That'd be so dope, dude. I would love that, Neo. That'd be sick. I would love to interview you too for a video, like long form video, kind of like how I did with WC. So, because I want to look at your grimdark painting style, and I want to interview you as an artist and like as a friend too, but I want to see how you do things, how you paint your armies and things like that, and ways to draw people to your channel as well. So, night, honey. And then Forever 2 said, just upload the battle report. Yeah, that's a great idea too, man. I would love to do battle report stuff. Except it's a lot of editing. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups. Well, I haven't had hiccups in a while. Out of nowhere. Probably because I'm talking a lot. I really don't talk this much, normally. And then Neo said the battle report is just, so yeah, guys, I got tabled and my death card sucks. Aw. I don't know, man, Neo. You might win, because I'm not good either, so don't feel too bad, but chaos versus chaos would be very fun. Forever Lurk 2 said you could talk to us, Ellie. Absolutely, Ellie. You could always talk to us. So she said, sorry if it's boring, but at the end of the relationship, that's when I started vaping, and I haven't stopped. But he would like talk to other girls when we went out together, and he also said he didn't know me. So that's him, like, unhappy in the relationship. I know you probably don't want to hear that as a girl, but he's clearly unhappy with the relationship, so he's looking around. He was dating you for 5 years. So, like, honestly, it's probably better he left you, obviously. So, don't see that as a loss. See that as a win and be like, thank God he left me. Because now you don't have to deal with him anymore. Hopefully. Unless I know he tried coming back to you and you said no, which is good for you. Don't go back to him. Leave that fucker to hang and dry. He sounds like a not the best person. He sounds immature. I mean, he's a 23-year-old trying to date a 17-year-old. Like, what does that tell you? Like, red flag, Some would say orange flag. I would say that's a red flag. That means he can't date girls of his own age. I'm not gonna shit on the person too much, but yeah, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Like, I would never date anyone really young. Like, Maddie is 4 years younger than me, but she's very mature for her age, and like, we vibe because we're of the same generation. So anyway, he told Ellie a lot of terrible things. So yeah, he was really racist to my Mexican grandma. Yeah, that's a big, massive red flag. If he's not nice to family members that you love, that is a huge red flag that he does not respect you or your family. Run. And if he tries to get you to, like, isolate you from your family, that's a controlling technique. Run. If he doesn't want you hanging out with your friends, shit like that. And then a lot of other horrible things he said to Ellie, and then he stalked your phone. So now I barely feel safe using my phone. Yeah, so there you go. I think you might need a new number, Ellie. And then he took all my money and spent it on drugs. That made him worse. Oh my God. One time I was trying to make air fryer chicken and I took it out and they were burnt, so he started yelling at me and forced me to put my hand on the hot part. Damn, Ellie. That's not normal, and that's not cool, and that's evil, once again. What a piece of shit, dude. I hate guys like that. I really don't. I don't like guys that do shit like that for so many reasons. Yeah, that's fucked up. And I'm very sorry that you had to experience that. I thank God you're not in that relationship anymore. Count your blessings. Be glad that that asshole is gone. And it sucks that even though he's out of your life, you still remember the pain. You still remember the trauma. You still remember the interactions. And you need to process that, girl, professionally. And hell, I don't know. If you need help and you can't afford a counselor or a therapist, fucking maybe a GoFundMe or something. And like, I would even contribute to that to help you get a therapist or counseling. Because that's something that I think a lot of people need. Because there's a lot of people wandering in this world and you don't know what scars they have. You don't know what's going on in their life. Like me, like I might look normal. I look fine. In a daily passing, you'd probably be like, oh, that guy looks cool. Or there's a person right there. Whatever. But inside, there's a lot more going on, and my past is fucking crazy. So But I don't advertise that. I don't like to advertise that. So here on this channel, I sort of do. So it's getting really personal. I hope everyone's okay. I just want to check in with everybody if everyone's feeling okay. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I understand the power in seeking professional help and getting a good therapist that you match with, not just any ordinary therapist, a good one that takes you and has a tailored program for you specifically, and they're professionally certified in whatever you need help with. That's what you should go for, okay? All right, let's continue this. So a lot of horrible things. Ren's in here. What's up, Ren? Hey. Ren said Ellie asked Ren for relationship advice. He said, when starting to date, make sure they are seeing it as the early stage of a marriage. If they're not treating it as a trial run for it, they are not 100% committed to it. Same goes for both sides. A first, when starting to date, okay? Not your first, not your second, not your third, not your fourth. Like, we're talking probably like 6 months in is when you should really start checking them as a suitable partner for long term. I don't agree with looking at it as marriage material yet. Like, I didn't propose to Maddie until 5 years into our relationship. That's a long time to wait, but I wanted to make sure that a lot of things, right? So I am very slow. I take things very slow. A lot of women don't like that. And there was only one other serious relationship I was in before Madeline, and that was with a girl in Hawaii. So obviously distance relationship didn't work out. So and then I fucked up a lot too. I'm not saying I cheated on her, no, but I wasn't very kind to her. So like, I made mistakes too. I was not as mature as I should have been for her. She was older than me, by the way. I was dating a girl who was older than me in Hawaii, and I don't know, I just didn't handle things very well. I had a lot of testosterone. I was in the military. Things that happen to you in service compared to like your average civilian or citizen, they're not really going to understand that life. So I took a lot of my frustration out on her. I never hit her. I never hurt her like that. But like, I got really frustrated with her. I'd get angry with her, and I would never swear at her, call her like terrible, terrible names. But I would just get so quickly frustrated with her and be like, I'm not fucking dealing with this right. Or I didn't want to talk about my problems. You know how some couples are like, talk about your problems. I didn't want to talk about anything. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to talk about shit. I just want to come home or, you know, hang out with you, and let's not have any drama, no problems. I just want love, affection, and care. And I just want you to be sweet to me. That's it. That's all I wanted. And obviously that's unrealistic, right? They're humans too, so like, they're going to have different emotions, and I didn't really respect that. Like, when she was crying, I was like, oh, shut the fuck up, stop fucking crying, what are you crying about? You know, like, that's not cool, that's horrible. That's horrible. I was that way to her because that's how it was in the military. If you were weak, you would get called out. You know, they're like, well, you're going to cry like a little bitch, you know? Like, I kind of treated her, and I didn't decompress properly. You know, like, police officers have this issue. They have a very high divorce rate as well. Same with the military, especially the Marine Corps. Along with, like, abuse and drinking and, you know, financial troubles and, like, stuff like that, because it's a really high stress environment. And I wasn't mature enough to know how to, like, come home and take that off, you know? But I would be like, let's just go out. I want to drink. I want to have fun. I want to party and not talk about anything bad. I just want good stuff. And then she would be like, well, I had a bad day. And I'm like, I don't want to hear about your bad day. I wanted good things only. And that wasn't nice. That wasn't realistic. So, like, that's a lesson I learned. And I still feel bad that I was like that. I'll tell you guys that because that's the truth. So, as a young man, again, we're talking 19, 20, 21-year-old Travis here. Pretty stupid. So, like, that's how I was, you know? And then I learned from that. And you learn and you think about your mistakes and you go, fuck, why was I like that? Why did I say that? Why did I do that? And we're talking not just immediately, but years down the road. You as a person in a relationship, you're going to think about the times that you fucked up and you're going to go, man, I was the problem. So, anyway, that's maturity, right? That's maturity. And then Ren said, time is precious and very limited. Most of my family proposed 3 months in a relationship. Damn, that's very different. That's so different, Ren. I know people like that, though. I know families like that, like, get into a relationship and very quickly get married. I don't believe in that, but I know that that's a thing. I've met many people who are like that. Like, Maddie's brother. He got into a relationship and, like, within a year, they were already talking about getting married. And I was like, holy crap. And then, like, after getting married, they were already having their first kid. And I'm like, holy crap. We've been together longer than they've been together. And it was just, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of different. So, like, we're not like that. I wasn't like that. I just didn't see a rush in marriage. Like, what does it do besides, like, tax benefits or whatever? You're with the person. You're already with them daily. I mean, it's like, well, just marry them. And I'm like, well, I'm not ready. I didn't propose to her early because I wasn't ready to marry her. In my mind, I'm like, I don't want to propose to a girl if I don't think I am 100% committed to this relationship. And it's not just a timing thing. It's not just like, all right, it's been 5 years, time to propose. No, like, and of course she was getting antsy and she wanted me to. You know, we're talking 3 years in and she's like, where's my ring? You know, kind of pressuring me. But I was like, look, honey, I'm not going to do that to you because that's wrong. If I force it and, you know, it turns out to be a bad decision, I don't want to do that to you. So, and there's other reasons too, like, I didn't have a very good job at the time. I wasn't done with schooling yet, so her parents are kind of old school where they're like, we want you to be established before you marry our daughter. Understandable, right? So, prove to us that you're an adult. Prove to us that you're worthy of our daughter, because Maddie is very special in a good way. She is one of the smartest people that I know. She's one of the most productive people that I know. She's one of the most creative people that I know. She is borderline genius level. So, yeah. Her parents know that because they're her only daughter. So, of course, they're like, if you're going to marry our daughter, you better have your shit together because we don't want you bringing our daughter down. So, there was pressure there too, right? My mom's like, where are the kids? And I'm like, Mom, it's been freaking 3 years. What are you talking about? You know, 8 years later, we've been together. And my mom's like, well, I guess I'm never having grandkids. I'm like, that's my mom. So my mom gets into relationships very quickly, gets married, and then gets divorced. My mom has had 5 marriages. 5. So, there you go. All of them failed. So, that's why I don't rush marriages. Because I saw it firsthand 3 times. Alright? So, there's something about me you probably didn't know, and now you know. Here I am trauma dumping. Alright. And then LED said, so not staring at my chest, lol. Ren said he never made eye contact, question mark. And then he said, well, some guys will glance, but not just sole focus on it. Even more so, I suppose, to be talking and hanging out. Yeah, I will say, Ellie, if they're not checking you out, like, I know there's the whole, like, oh, he's a man, he's got good eye contact, but, like, that means he's still interested in you, but, like, that might be, I don't know, it might be a yellow flag if he's not checking you out. Like, then it's like, it's kind of an insult. I don't know, like, if I was with a woman, I would want her to check me out and be like, shit, you know what I mean? Makes you feel good. It makes you feel wanted. They got to be attracted to you. So, but if they're staring at your chest the whole time, yeah, that's a red flag. That means he's in it for the wrong reasons. So, or if he's just like, damn, you look really good tonight. Like that's a green flag. You know what I mean? He's like, damn, you look absolutely amazing tonight. Holy, wow, you did that for me? You know? So, that's a green flag. So there is a balance to everything, right, Ellie? So it goes both ways. Forever Alert 2 said blame it on the odd angle of his phone's camera unless he does it on the date. Yeah. LED said, no, not really. I was wearing this Cut Frog Mallet t-shirt and I kind of got low. Okay, so because I take glances at it at times, still a guy, and find the women in question attractive is what Ren said. And then Ren said, however, things may have changed, haven't dated in 6 years. Yeah. So. Forever Alert 2 said, every guy looks. Yeah, it's damn near evolutionary. Exactly, dude. That's very realistic. A lot of people will say, no, we're not like that. Like, no, dude. I'm a man. Yes, we look. It's when we stop looking at you, that's when it's a problem. When guys stop looking at you, right? They're looking at other women, or they're like not attracted to you anymore. That's a red flag. That's like, wait a second, why doesn't he check me out anymore? That's a problem. So, but anyway. And then she said, I wasn't wearing a bra, so you could see a bit of my blah. But he made eye contact and it was staring at my chest. Okay, and then Furler 2 said, I've learned various techniques over the years to avoid it, though. I look at the ceiling a lot. I've been there too, dude. You're like, fuck. I don't want to look, but Jesus. And then Ren said, my great-grandparents got married at age 15 and been married over 70 years. Yeah, that's very rare. Ren said, did you ask him to stop? She said, I don't know. That'd be funny too, Ellie, if you were like, can you stop staring at my awkward. See how he takes it. If he gets angry, red flag. But if he was like, shit, I can't help it. You look amazing. Or if he was like, man, I'm sorry. I haven't seen a beautiful girl like this in a long time. Green flag. You know what I mean? But, maybe he's a silver tongue, so look out for those guys too, where they can talk good, but they can't walk the walk. So you'll meet a lot, I hate to say this, but in a lot of black communities, guys are like that. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They're like, I love you, I'll be with you forever, you're my girl through and through, we got this, and then they leave them in like a year. So they like to perform, they like to look, they like to act and be like, yeah, you're fine as hell, you're the best woman. If I had you as a woman, I would never leave you, I will be with you forever. And then as soon as you blink, they're leaving you. So just saying, that's a social problem, that's a cultural issue that they have. Yeah, so I don't want to talk about that too much. But, and then Ren said in a traditional sense, before you even talk to a woman on the regular, you have to get permission from her father or guardian. Yeah, we were not traditional, Ren, so me and Maddie were dating, and it was like a while until she met my mom, and a longer while until I met her mom. So if they bring you around the parents, that's a good thing. That's a green flag. That means they trust you. and they want to show you off to their parents as like, hey, this is someone I've been with and they've been great. I want you to meet them. Now, if it's right away, we're talking like second date, that's kind of weird. It's a yellow flag, because maybe they're really close with their family and they just want you to meet everybody and they're really happy about their family. Maybe that's not a bad thing, especially if they have a really good family. But if they're like love bombing the shit out of you, or they're really cold and like, I don't know, like they're overly nice, I would get a little wary at that and be like, that's kind of weird. Like, why are these people so nice to me? Was this like a cult or something? You know what I mean? Or they're just trying to be like, yeah, our son needs to marry, so like we're going to be so nice to this new girl that she's going to want to marry him, so we're going to do everything we can to make it happen. And it's like, that's kind of weird. That's really rare, obviously, but like, or like arranged marriages, shit like that definitely happens, where like you have to get approval, and then there's parents that step in and they're like, you will marry my son. Like, that's a thing, like, for fucking sure. If you don't think that's a thing, you're wrong. Or if they're like, you will never marry my daughter, that's a thing too. Alright, I'm gonna start fixing up some of these lines here. So kind of get it a little bit straighter against that, black against the hazard stripes. So I'm just going to kind of use this to straighten it out, make sure there's not too much bleed through, good coverage, and vertical again, just to keep the paint. And I like to kind of spread the paint out. So just kind of get in the little divots here and then just paint it down. So just like that. That way there's a clear lineation. And then I can use this as well to go over some of the hazard striping if I really want to. If there's any spots that I see. Not really. It looks pretty fucking good, honestly. So maybe up here a little bit, just like a little bit. So that looks pretty solid. And then, oh, maybe right here. Careful. There we go. So, cool. And then back to chat. I see the chat is kind of dying down, and that's fine. I'm getting tired. It's almost 11, you know. I was going to cut this at 10, but I think I'm going to cut this at 11. So that way I'm not up all night. So, we talked a lot. Wow. And then Ellie, about this new guy, she said, I think he's nice, but I don't know, so she's not sure. Then LED said, Ren, remember when I asked you out? Ren said, yeah. She said, wasn't that something? She said, sorry. Hey, at least she apologized. And then, here's a good question. Ren said, what made you change your mind? And then LED said, I don't know. I think you're really nice and cool, but I don't know. So, Ren, you just got to accept that, man. Sometimes people just, maybe she's not ready. Maybe she said it, and then she was like, maybe not. You know? People can change their mind. It's America. It's nothing against you, dude. I think Ren's freaking cool. I think Ren's hilarious. If you've ever met him, he's very intelligent. He's very well spoken. He's definitely a gentleman. But, yeah, he can talk mad shit, too. He's funny. So, and he's very cultured. So, I think he's a good guy. But, it's a shame. I think women should be crawling all over him, but, I don't know. They're out doing whatever the fuck they're doing. So, you'll find a good girl, Ren. I know it, dude. You're gonna find a really good girl, and you're gonna fall in love with her, and you guys are gonna have a fucking blast. So, LED said, I don't know, and then Ellie said, Ren said, okay, I was just really curious how it was going to turn out, yeah. And then Ellie said, oh, and I like, really, I mean, really, oh, and like, really, I mean, really smart. Oh, yeah, he is smart, yes. Ren's very intelligent, and he said, thank you, I think you're sweet, Ellie. And then LED said, no one's ever called me sweet, Ren. Aw. Ren said, really, you should hear that more. I agree. And then Ellie said, stop, you're making me blush. And then Ren said, it's true, Travis, and everyone else tell Ellie how sweet you think she is. Yep. LED, yep. And then Ren said, also I had my own stream tonight for 2 hours. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I'm sorry, Ren. I didn't know that, man. Oops. Was it on Twitch? Or... And then Ren said some of my exes trying to come back, the ones that cheated on me and had to be cold to deny them. Yeah. You gotta stand your ground as a man. You know? You don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything, dude. So, women do mess up, and if they come back to you, that is slightly impressive, because a lot of women are in this hookup culture world that we have, are just washing their hands with you and just being like, yeah, I'm on to the next. But clearly whoever she went to didn't work out, and then she came back to you, and a weaker man would have said yes. I don't want to say a weaker man, but like, it's hard to say no, but you were hurt by her so bad, clearly, that you're like, no, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to have that chance of happening again. I've been cheated on too, man. Once. I've been cheated on once. And it did hurt. But then I learned that that was just the girl's MO. She cheats on every guy, so what else is new, right? So, Ellie said you didn't tell me, I would have joined. Yeah. So, Ren, did you have it on Twitch? Or were you on YouTube, bro? What were you doing? Also, I did a really good job cleaning up that straight line, as you can see. Again, I just used a normal brush, and I just went just really quick, and look at how much cleaner that is, how much straighter that is. That is what I'm talking about, baby. So, yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. There will be more that I do. I'm going to continue painting the Retributor Gold all the way around, and then I'll be adding the battle damage and stuff like that. You know, my little cuts and scrapes and like some of the paint wearing away. I could drill it as well just to make some like impact holes and stuff. And then I'll varnish everything, and then I'll glue it on there, and it'll be on the defiler, and I'm really excited for how this came out. So, yeah, we got 3 minutes left. I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight, and you got to watch me paint this. And as you can see, if I wasn't on live and I wasn't stopping and talking, I would get this done a lot faster. But I think going on live and doing this kind of helped, because then I would think a lot more about it, and I would like let it dry. Because sometimes when I paint, I can be a little impatient, I'm not going to lie. And sometimes I paint it and I'm like, all right, it's been 5 minutes, fuck it. And I go to like paint it and I smear it sometimes, or like, I'm just a little impatient sometimes. So I'm glad that I had a little bit of a pause, and I like hanging out with you guys, and girl. So I like my friends on here. I really thank you for hanging out with me tonight. You make my night a lot better. I don't feel lonely when I'm doing this, because I have friends, but like, I don't hang out with people a whole lot. Most of the people that I hang out with are Maddie's friends from school. I just haven't found any friends here yet. It's been kind of hard for me. I'm kind of socially awkward too, so believe it or not, I got to work on that. So, but hopefully I can make friends, you know. But I have you guys, and thank you very much for hopping on, hanging out with me tonight, and seeing my process. Even if you don't care, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm glad I was able to share this with you guys. And then later on, I'll probably take this, download it, chop it up, and I'll create this into an actual tutorial on how to do it and have it a little bit faster, maybe like a 10-minute video or less, maybe like a 5-minute video. I could probably make it into a 5-minute video and post it. So it won't be a short, but I can do it as a longer form video on how to do hazard striping. So I could make it into a short too, depends. But let's see. I'll read a couple more comments and then I gotta call it, my friends. I'm sorry. I am gonna finish this up tonight, but I just don't want to stream too long. That and this battery can overheat on this camera right here. It can overheat and it has a tendency to die. So far, so good. Nothing has botched up besides me going into the screen share like an idiot and forgetting that it was on mute. But anyway, back to comments. Why does autocorrect hate me? I don't know, Ellie. It sucks. I wish I could turn it off. Are you on your phone right now or are you on a computer? And then Ren said, think 8 times cheated on. I ended up learning patterns when some women start to cheat. Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That fucking sucks, dude. When women cheat, it could be a couple reasons. I'm not going to talk about that here, but I would strongly recommend you research it. Not every woman cheats, okay? Not every guy cheats. But I would recommend you have your own experience from it, but you should research it too. Like why that many? Was it something I did wrong? You know what I mean? Like introspective stuff. But of course, if they choose to cheat on you, that's a totally different story. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe it's the girls you're going after. I don't know, dude. Could be a million things, right? Or it's just really fucking bad luck. Which sucks, and I'm sorry. And then LED said, officially, you are the best. Hell yeah. Ren and Ellie, I love that. Thank you guys for being kind to each other. We need more people being kind to each other. Thank you. I'm glad to see that. And then Ren said, also, Travis, Ellie got the scoop of my new song that I posted. Shock you didn't comment on it. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. And LED said, you were so nice and like one of the only people who were nice to me. Aw. And then LED said, ooh, no song. Yep, new song. So Ren's been posting new stuff. And he said, you already heard it. That's funny. And then Ren said, my cell phone overheats when I stream over 2 hours. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yep, I have problems too. Like this thing, you've seen it before where it like digitalizes and gets all screwed up. It's literally because it's just, I'm running it too long and it will fail. So I do have to keep the stream to a certain time frame or else it ruins the stream. And why not have a quality stream within a certain time frame rather than risk it and then something bad happens and then you look like, you look unprepared essentially. But it's good to know your equipment's limits. So, and then LED said, I don't have a computer. Oh, I have my iPad and my iPhone. Oh, okay. And your phone. Okay, alright, gotcha. Well, I was just curious how you view on here. I wasn't sure if people are on their computer more, or if they're on their phones a lot. Like, sometimes I put YouTube up on my big TV, and I watch shit on there. So, and then a lot of the time I walk around, I have it on my phone, or like, whatever I'm doing, my phone is with me most of the time, so. But, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for the night. It's been an amazing Warhammer night, and I do want to thank everybody for hopping on here, hanging out with me. I'm glad that I was able to get this pretty much done, and it looks really good, like better than I thought it would look, so I'm very happy with that. And if there's any new subscribers to this, thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. It helps me out a lot. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. Be sure to like that, like my video. Check out my buddies on here. Check out like Ren Havoc Mini. He also has a channel. Check out the Warhammer Commentator. He has a channel. Check out Neo. He has a channel. LED has a channel. Subscribe to all of them. Help them out too. We can help each other. We can build together. We're better when we work together. If you haven't joined my Discord, please join my Discord. There's a lot of very good people in there, very talented people in there, and it's a good time. If you're ever feeling lonely, you can always pop in there and say hi to everybody, and I think we're very welcoming, we're very kind, and we're fucking cool. So, just like you guys are. So, thank you very much for watching me, as always. I really enjoy it. But I will be going ahead and calling it here, so I'm sorry. For those of you who are still kind of in contact. Oh, Ellie hit 52 subscribers? Holy shit. Whoa. So that means you can live stream now. Dang, Ellie. Whatever you're doing, it's working, girl. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Post those shorts. Post videos. Get that going. Damn, that's awesome. Ren's at 8. Aw. Ren deserves more. Ren deserves more. Yeah. Hey, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? So, when I started this channel, I only had 100 subscribers. That's it. It's like 98 or something. And now I'm at 420, 430 something. And that's awesome. I'm really proud of that. So you got to start somewhere. I know you can do it. And just think about, if you're going to post a video, how can I make it more fun? How can I get people's attention? What can I show off? Like, try to have a theme, research it. Like, research, what do people want to see? How can I do it? You know what I mean? Yeah, you got 32 on Instagram, more than me, dude. I got 0 on Instagram. Because I just started it. So, yeah, that's really good, Ren. I got to add you on there, bro. Send me, is it the same at Ren Havoc Mini? Is that the same one on Instagram? Because I'll add you on Instagram, bro. And then LED does have a Ren does have a Twitch as well. Yep. So get those links in your bio. Make sure you do that. And then tell people exactly. Ellie's correct. So tell people that you have a Twitch and all that. Cool. Yeah, I'll add you on Instagram, bro. You'll be my first follower on Instagram. So, I'm kind of late to the game. Okay, same profile picture. Okay, roger that. All right, bro. I got you. I'll do that right after this. I'll go on my phone and I'll add you on there. I have one for ChaoticCrafterZero. I do have one for my personal. I keep that personal, but maybe I'll make an exception. So, we could be friends on there. If you really want to be my friend, I don't know. So, oh, and a Pinterest. Oh, Ellie. We got to pump those numbers up. Hell yeah, we do. Yes, sir. LED has a Pinterest. Okay, put that in your biography, Ellie. If you can get a shareable link to your Pinterest, that's a good idea. Because then people can click. I want to click on it. I'm curious. I don't have a Pinterest. I'm not going to do a Pinterest, but that's too much work. But if you have it, do it. So, oh, Ren, you're my favorite. Okay. Thank you, bro. You're my favorite too, brother. Ren's awesome, man. And we game together. We got a game again, man. You and me, we got to do Baldur's Gate again. So maybe tomorrow night. Tomorrow night sounds good. We could do that. I promised you one of those nights, and I'm sorry I didn't get around to it. But tomorrow night I should be able to. So maybe we can do that. Awesome, man. Awesome. For sure. All right. Much love to everybody. Much respect. Thank you very much for watching me. This is Travis with ChaoticCrafterZero. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of others. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Take everything one day at a time. And remember that you're human and we all make mistakes. We're not perfect. Everybody's got fucking problems. But you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this. You're with us. And we will talk to you and help you through whatever you got going on. And try to have fun along the way. So yeah, peace and love. Peace and love, everybody. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks again.